we looking at?
Stupid battle droids, get out of the way! Hello there. This is General Grievous, and you are watching Southern Comic Geek.
Roger, roger.
What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with a Lego build. That's right, something definitely different than what you might be used to seeing here on the channel. That is, if you're used to the channel. If you're new, welcome. Appreciate you for joining. So like if you read the description, it's been quite a few years since I have actually built any Legos. And then for Christmas, my wife ups and gets me one of the Star Wars headshot of Boba Fett. Kind of fitting as the book of Boba is right around the corner from now. I've seen these with Darth Vader, Stormtrooper, and Boba Fett. I don't like the Darth Vader one, but Boba's fine. But yeah, so I decided that I would just do a live stream with me building this. And if anybody wants to come on and hang out and chat, that's fine as well. I will go ahead and drop the StreamYard link into the chat. What's going on? All kinds of stuff here. So if I'm going to go ahead and drop the link, if anybody wants to jump in and chit chat, it doesn't have to be about the Legos. It could be about anything else comic book related. Feel free to hit that link. And if I recognize you, then I will let you in on the stream. If not, then you'll just sit there in limbo. But while we get started, I do want to give a shout out to the channel supporters, people that are supporting the channel through their monthly membership. Whether on YouTube and or Patreon, people that are supporting the channel, and we do appreciate that. And there are benefits, of course, associated with that membership, not the least of which is our monthly giveaways. This month we are giving away an Uncanny X-Men 266 9.4 CGC slab, first cover appearance of one said Cajun mutant Gambit. Some say first appearance. We all know it's annual 14, folks. We all know. But that could be yours. The way you enter to win is to be a member. You can get 10 entries per membership. You also can get 1 entry per $1 of super chat giving in live shows like this during the month of December. So that is what's up. That's what's up. What's going on? Harm's Way, Chad. How are you doing? Thank you for joining here today. So that's what we're going to jump into, folks. Feel free to chit-chat it up in the chat. I will be watching y'all's responses or questions or whatever like that. And we're going to switch over to this camera here. And we'll see. Go ahead and get this puppy started. Over to this camera here, and you are also in YouTube. Get this puppy started. Who's that obnoxious guy? Not talking about you, Brian. I'm talking about the guy I'm listening to.
I get it.
I don't want to hear that guy again. What's going on?
How you doing, man?
How are things out in the land of fruits and nuts?
It slowed down the rain. We didn't have rain for like 9 months, and then all of a sudden it's just like 3 storms in a row. So it's very weird.
Huh.
Yeah. And I would rather hang out with you than watch my Sorry Kings play right now. So
well, they
yeah, you don't even have to complete that sentence.
What's that?
You don't even have to complete the sentence about the Kings. That's about what the Kings have done. Yeah. So I'm actually just bagging and boarding, mylaring comics, like this, stuff like this.
Oh yeah, look at that Echo.
Little Echo action. So That's
Harm's
what
Way
I'm.
Harm's Way Chad was asking where you were at.
Oh, okay. I'm in NorCal, Northern California, about an hour from this city, Sacramento. South of that.
South of that.
Real exciting. We're the home of George Lucas.
That's claim to fame right there, babe.
Something.
Speaking
Right
of
now,
which,
we're known as the car theft capital of California, but you know, we all take what we can get.
hey, let's not mince, potato. We just gotta focus on the good things.
Okay, then we're the home of graffiti. You know, everybody loves graffiti.
Unless you're the one cleaning it up.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, if you're the one
Look,
cleaning it up, that's not fun.
Christmas was good for you?
Yeah. What about you?
Very good. Very good. Looks like your wife bought you something to keep you away from her even longer.
So she told me the other day, she's like, we bought you something. We think you're gonna like it. I'm like, okay. And I didn't really have a clue as to what in the world she was talking about.
Well, you do now.
And I opened it up. I'm like, okay. Like I used to have a bedroom when I was a kid that was a garage at one time. And so it was a walled-in garage. And so I had the largest room in the house. That was my mother's way of putting me on the other side of the house when my brother was born. And so I had a Lego City. I had a table down there that I built all this stuff and let my imagination run wild. But as I moved, this stuff's like sitting over there. I still got some of them over there in the closet. But so this is the first time I've done anything like this in quite a while. Got to scratch off the rust off the brain. Try to follow directions, which is hard for a guy sometimes.
It can be. Especially when you're not used to it.
So, Harm's Way, Chad, we're the catalytic converter theft capital in Cali. So.
That would be Fresno. Yeah.
Well, I want to say
I'm only an hour away from there too.
Well, I want to say that Mississippi appreciates any kind of bad stuff that you can be known for because we're usually the ones that are the top in anything bad. So appreciate California helping us out there.
You're very welcome.
So you got my stuff all packaged up because you sent me that book and then you said this will be for the next round. So I said, well, you must have got me all packaged.
I packaged all that stuff up this morning. Yes, Modesto, Harm's Way. That is exactly where I am at.
Geek Out with Roscoe. What is going on? How are you?
So yes, I'm I got your stuff packaged. Yours and Papa Willie's and got all that stuff ready to go out tomorrow morning first thing.
Cool. So right before, let's see, no, this went Christmas Eve. So the 23rd, I was watching several live sales on Instagram and bought a couple of bigger books. Bought a first appearance of Blade.
Wow, nice.
Signed by Marv Wolfman. And bought the first Doc Samson.
So you bought one of these? Nice.
So I had one and I sold it for twice as much as I paid for it on Shortboxed, which is an app for those of you who don't know, is an app that you can sell slab books on, and an app that Brian writes stuff for too. But I also dropped Brian's link to his channel in the chat. If anybody's not subbed up to him, just go over there and give him a sub up and a follow. But I had that first appearance of Blade, and sometimes you sell books and you go, oh, I really wish I hadn't done that. So you just go buy it back, right? So this is the same grade as the one I had, except that this one is signed. The other one I had was not. So
Hey, thank you, Roscoe, for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate it.
Last Crucis, 1971. What is going on? All right. So
I'm sorry, Harm's Way, you had to drive through Modesto. I'm sure you got a headache from it.
So you got any big cons coming up?
I'm actually getting ready for SAC Anime. I do. It's a weird show. It's a 3-day show at the Sacramento Convention Center, and I call myself counter programming for the show because I'm the only one that sells comics there. It's because 8 or 9 years ago, I took my boys and my daughter to the show, and I was bored as hell because I'm not, and I'm not an anime guy. So I walked around the show, and it was big enough. The convention center is pretty big, and there was just nothing there for me. And I get that. And I was like, oh, you know what? I am not going to Stockton Con. I got to drive my kid to Long Beach back to college that day, unfortunately. So I will not be set up at Stockton Con for the first time. But I am doing Berkeley Con the day before. So if you go to Berkeley Con, and there's a plug for them, obviously, I will be there. It's a comics only show. It's an old school comic show. Only has comics. No cosplayers. No massage therapists. Although that might be pretty
tattoo artist and everything.
Yeah, no tarot card readers, but they're there. It's just comics, and you got some big heavy hitters there. They'll Harvey Yu will be there, and Terry's Comics, and A1 always has a booth there set up, and for some reason they let me set up there. So I feel humble enough to do that, and I get to do it, and I'm thrilled. I love that show. It's a great small show. It's a lot of fun. And my friend Dinesh shows up every once in a while.
Huh. Yeah, I saw him.
I've had many a picture with him there.
Oh, so thinking of Valiant then. Did you post a picture recently of or maybe I was going through some old stuff of yours where you posted a picture of a commission you got Kevin Van Hook to do?
Oh yeah, that was about 2 or 3 years ago. I brought him out for Stockton Con, him and Dinesh for the Bloodshot movie, and they did a panel, and I asked him to do an Eternal Warrior commission for me on a sketch cover because I'm not the biggest fan of his Bloodshot art. I like his Eternal Warrior. His Galad is a lot better to me. I just think he draws that just much more dynamic, and so he did that with Dr. Mirage, not Dr. Mirage, Master Dark behind him. It was very well done, and I loved it to death. So I still have that, obviously.
So that made me think about getting him to do one for me. So I reached out to him.
Yeah.
And we exchanged some messages back and forth. And so I said, well, can I send you some books to sign? Since I've got to mail you a sketch cover to do this on. Can I send you some books to sign since you guys send something back to me anyway? So he said, yeah, sure. So I mailed it off the other day. But he is going to be doing a Hulk 181 homage.
Oh.
With
so you sent him some Bloodshot ones?
I did. I sent him. I sent him a Bloodshot 1, Eternal Warrior, first appearance of Bloodshot, a couple other things. I forget what it was. But so the Eternal Warrior in the pose of the Hulk, brother Armstrong, right? Is going to be where the Hulk is, and then Archer is going to be where Wendigo is. So,
of course. Do you have him holding a
little crossbow?
Yeah, a crossbow.
I did not specify that, but it'll be funny if he puts it in there. Because he asked me, he said, now when we're talking about these characters, you're talking like OG VH1 stuff, you know? Or are you talking about newer? And I said, no, I want the old stuff. So
yeah, that's what he loves anyway. He's not too tuned into the newer stuff really. So
yeah,
nice. That's gonna be sweet. I have to share this with you, man. I found this. I went to a swap meet like 4 months ago, and this guy had an old box of comics, and there were some foreign comics. I know you love foreign comics. And this is from 1969, and it's called Photo. Well, I'm just going to show it.
Okay.
Covered.
From 1969?
Yeah. This is a Mexican comic book.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains it. Because I'm like,
It explains it, right?
Yeah. No way that happened in America in 1969.
Oh, no, it's a little bit smaller. You can tell from the bag and board because it is a normal bag and board, but it's a little shorter, but it fits perfectly in there. And I was like, okay. And then there's nothing like that in the inside. It's like it was the only thing that was there is to sell it. I was like, oh look, it's an Image comic from the 90s.
Right. Hey, Rob Liefeld has his little Robservations thing and podcast that he does.
Yeah.
And by his own admission, he said, Valiant was known for the stories and Image was strictly known for art.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that sums it up, right?
That's true. It really was. And never more true during Deathmate.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I believe the story of Bob Layton sitting at his house on his porch waiting for him to finish it, but those pages, but it doesn't surprise me.
Well, I was looking at an Image comic. I forget which one it was the other day, and it listed Rob Liefeld as being the editor-in-chief. I'm like, how did anything ever get done?
I think that was title only.
Yeah, gotta be.
I think they locked Jim Valentino in a back room and just had him do it all. They never even told him what was going on. They were just feeding him some water and bread.
Yeah, just keep going. Keep doing this.
He could never get anything else out on time.
Right?
Boggles my mind.
Yeah.
So what are you specking on this year?
Let's see. Well, when speculation wise, what's going on? Agu Rhythm, thank you for dropping that 99-cent super chat and making it rain in the right direction. Good sir. Thank you for stopping by. Ian, what's going on? And Chasing Pops ask, yeah, that was a foreign comic. So
Yeah.
That's kind of outside the realm of authority for the comic code.
For sure. Yeah, and that would have been that was 68, I said. So I mean, the Comic Code Authority happened in the 50s. I mean, that's Seduction of the Innocent. So
yeah, you got a copy of the Seduction of the Innocent, don't you?
Yeah, I do. It's in a box somewhere in this room.
Somewhere, huh?
Somewhere.
Well, somebody else was asked a question. Why does that look like Gun Honey? Well, that would mean Gun Honey look like it, right? Because
that'd be no question. I do enjoy the Gun Honey covers. They are nice. I mean, when I saw these last week, the color, the black and white, the Virgin, they're just nice. I like them a lot.
Well, the 90s is picked on for having gimmick covers, which, certainly it did. But nowadays, that's how you sell any book, just about it.
Yeah. Well, it was never just about cover art then. It was about content or character. Now it's about art and cover art. That's, I think, is a big difference. So,
for sure.
How many pieces is that Lego set?
It says it is 625 pieces.
Wow. You're not going to bed tonight.
Oh, I wasn't hoping it was going to take me that long. Maybe I was being over optimistic. So, how much is that book going to set me back?
Probably no more than $25.
That's cool.
If you don't even have a copy of that, do you?
I don't.
Okay. I was going through a box and I saw it and I was like, "Oh, hey, somebody asked me about that."
Yeah, who asked me about a Valiant book? They had to be him.
You would be surprised. I actually put up a few Valiant books on eBay today. I'm trying to get to 1,600 items in my store, and I'm 30 away now. So,
Hello.
oh,
Hey, what's going on, Ian?
Oh, oh wow! Because I went to my local shop because, and for Christmas, I got a $25 card,
Oh wow.
and like I picked up only 5 books, and it went like it's sky high. And I said, that much only for 5 bucks is $25.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah, and I picked up that one.
Oh yeah, the Absolute Carnage.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's a
that's
pretty
nice.
book. It's a pretty cover.
And I got that one.
Yeah, the Marvel books. Yeah.
And last but not least,
Oh yeah,
We're the bounty
Star
hunters.
Wars.
yeah. I had to put some of my books actually back in my my long box, but some of the books won't fit. Meaning, I have like way too many books.
Hey, look, I understand your pain for sure,
Yes.
and I know Brian does for sure.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and like, okay, that kind of weird because I have a Funko Pop in one hand and comic books in the other hand.
Uh huh.
I was
You
looking.
gotta have a balanced life. That's a balanced life right there, Ian. But it's two expensive hobbies. I will give you that.
Shit, and nothing in the other hand. I mean,
Yeah, and only $25.
hey Jason, take me down for a few minutes. I'm gonna go see my wife. She just showed up for the first time all day.
All right.
Yeah, and wow, people like blow me up on Instagram. They want me to do some of my my like my good your drawings. Yeah, because I told them I don't have no PayPal. Yeah, I said, but I do take commissions.
Huh.
Because I don't want to get in trouble, with my whole SSI.
Right.
Oh, you're making too much. Like,
so how many Funko Pops do you got, Ian?
oh,
Too many to count? Okay.
yeah. I bought a case for my sign La Leonardo.
Okay.
I went to a Comic-Con. Yeah, so anyways, you have to wait till I get time to like send out your books.
Okay.
I have to wait till I get I'm kind of broke right now.
Ain't no problem.
Yeah. And no, I'm gonna probably hook you up. I might throw in some more books.
Man, whatever's cool with me. Whatever you think. Let's see what we got right here.
And and I did a trade with Max
Max Comics?
and she want my Golden Dog
Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I saw, well, I look how much in that worth. That cover not worth that much money.
Which one? The glow in the dark Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right here. Right here.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's the first print one. Yeah.
I only got for about $5, at the one shop.
Huh.
And do you heard that I might get sponsored by a comic book place that is right by my town.
That's cool.
Yeah, because I always buy the books. Yeah, because it's just a couple young. That is, I guess that is a couple young, college. It's just a couple young, guys, who trying to make a living.
Steve Bynes. What's going on, Steve Bynes? How are you? Also, in Harm's Way said he was at that same show you were at.
Oh yeah. So what?
I guess the one you bought that Ghost Rider at, maybe is what he's talking
Oh,
about.
yeah. Yeah, and oh my goodness. And like it was so many good books at the shop. I try and pick out some good books, but I looked at the prices.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna spend $25 on a just on a single like a Spider-Man book.
Okay.
Like, good Lord. I remember a comic book used to only cost only $1.
Those days are long gone, yeah. Yeah, they you get lucky and get some dollar bin finds sometimes, but yeah, just off the rack. They
Yeah.
that, man, sure.
Oh yeah. So anyway, and do you ever heard of that book before? Smoke.
I ain't never heard of it. Is it any good?
Yeah. That is about that is and that about the a secret government like spy as to turn a ghost.
Uh-huh.
Hello.
So did you give your wife some, hugs and kisses, and she tell you the what for and how to?
She did. She told me what she spent all the money on,
Oh.
and I don't even want to know what it is.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like innocence is bliss.
It is, my friend. It is. Are you for your Valiant stuff? You still need stuff like this?
I need some. Yeah. So I need issue. I forget what issue it is. It's on my phone, which is used for my camera right now. But it's issue 2 or 3. I only need. There's that's a 3-part series, wasn't it?
Yeah, it only went 3 because the Acclaim lost all of Ashley Wood's art for the last 2 issues, and they tried to do a 3rd issue with somebody else's art, and they never printed number 4. So
yeah, it's
that's
one of
pathetic.
either issue 2 or 3. I need.
Okay, I have extras of those too. So
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and yeah, and yeah. So anyway, and so where I go to buy my books is a little antique shop.
Okay.
Yeah, books like he had one table full of books, and like he had the other table full of books. Like no, but like he had like 25 long boxes, and he had it's just like so much stuff.
Oh wow.
Like
Weapon X, yeah, no auction here today.
Yeah, whatnot. Let's start this at $1.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want. I don't remember. Did you tell me that you're selling on Whatnot, or you're going to get selling on Whatnot?
I've been approved, so I can start selling. I'm gonna do my first sale next week.
Cool.
So,
So I had Christmas Eve. The problem right now to me with Whatnot, unless you got already a lot of followers,
That's
is
it.
finding that right niche.
Yeah.
That right time niche, right?
Yeah.
So because there are a lot of like Comic Tom and his group do it on Wednesdays.
Yep.
Well, that's right. You told me that Christian, you were going to get hooked up with him if you get going, right?
Yeah. Once I can get used to the format and thing, which I don't think it'll take very long. I'll be a part of that Fantastic Four for Thursdays. I'll
Yeah,
probably
then you won't really have a problem, man. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think I'll have a problem. I was in his show just Thursday the other day, and he had, I don't know, consistently 30, 35 people in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's just, you got to have that name in that time slot. So on Christmas Eve, I noticed that there wasn't a lot of people going on Christmas Eve. So I jumped on there and sold right at $500 worth of stuff.
Okay.
And then Christmas Day, I didn't have nothing to do after the kids opened the Christmas presents until we went to the first place. I didn't really have anything to do. So there was nobody on during that time. So I went on, sold about $300 worth of stuff and in a couple of hours. So, and keep in mind that we're not talking about anything big. We're just talking about stuff that would go for that amount anyway.
But at least you're moving inventory, and
yeah. And that's the thing, like with you being a vendor and stuff in between downtimes. And I know Christian was at some con the other day, and he was still doing Instagram sales at the con.
Yeah, he was at the Ontario con, and that's, I think, the 5th year they've done that. That's in his pretty much hometown, so it's literally a 10-minute drive from there to his house.
That's nice.
Which is still down in SoCal, so it's still a 5-hour drive for me to go to that show.
Well, like we were talking about the other day, it's nice when you got that many shows that you can go to in that amount of space.
It's nice. If I wanted to, Harms was asking if I was going to be at Stockton Con, and the day before that show, which is a one-day show on a Sunday, Berkeley Con is on Saturday. So I have a booth at Berkeley Con, and then normally I would have a booth Sunday at Stockton Con. So that's a busy freaking weekend.
Uh-huh.
But, everything, Stockton Con, I work for the company, I work for the show, so I don't have to pay for that booth. Because I'm in charge of their charity auctions. And so I go around before the show starts, and I get donations from all the vendors, and then we'll have a separate booth set up for people to make silent auction bids for those, and then all that goes to the auction, the charity of choice that is supporting us or that we are doing for that show.
Oh.
So.
Well, one thing, so there was it used to be Wizard World, but now it's Fan Expo there in New Orleans. And so another guy that I know, he said, I was asking him, did he get his passes yet? Because they were on sale, and I didn't think nothing about it. And He said, "Well, yeah, actually, I'm waiting. Oh, never mind. I just got it approved for a media pass." I'm like, "What the crap?" I said, I got more followers both on Instagram and on YouTube than he does. I just don't think about it,
Yeah, that's true.
you know.
True. Yeah.
So I emailed him and said, "Hey, I messed up. Can I get a media pass?" We'll see what they say. But when I go to the Pensacon in February, I'm asking for a media pass down there. All they can do is tell you no.
That's true.
I got a book, but I don't know what it is.
Let's see it.
Does anybody know what that is?
Extermination.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the Mark Brooks Virgin cover. It's Extermination 3, I think. But it's a mini series that Marvel did a couple years ago when they killed off Cable.
All that information should be on that back cover.
Yeah, pull it, look on the back side of it, Ian.
Yeah, it should have it all on there.
Oh.
Boom! Yep.
There you go.
Store exclusive.
Yep. Yep, and I pick up some more each Spider-Man, because and somebody said, "Oh, you need to buy some more each Spider-Man because Spider-Man is so big now."
Yeah. Well, just buy whatever you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing some heavy moon knighting right now. That's this kind of stuff.
And
that's the regular cover. That's not the price variant, right?
Correct. The price variant is 30 cents.
So that's the only cover, I think. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, that Jack Kirby did of Moon Knight, right?
I believe you're right. I believe you're right. Yeah. That is correct.
I trying to find the one book I did have in my box. I can't what put it. I got this one.
Oh, that's a great book, dude. That's a nice book. I've been hoarding those books for a few years.
Yeah, if Kevin Smith's show had been a little more well received, might have.
And
no kidding.
Of course.
Yeah. Negan lives.
Negan lives. Gotta like that.
Yeah. And I found that at the one store. Wait a minute. No. Oh wait. Oh no! I think I got it from one of the people who used to be in the comic book group. But now he's not there no more. His name is Hey Blitz.
Oh yeah, Jay Blitz. Oh yeah.
The first.
Nice. I want to hear you do it. I want to hear you go, woo!
Woo!
I'll give you that.
Hey, check out what I got in the mail. Christmas Eve.
Oh, nice. The final issue.
Nice.
You know what? I don't actually have a copy of that raw. That book is so hard to get just raw. I love that one too. I own the Only 9/8, and I own the only signature series of that issue 5.
Who'd you get it signed by?
It's signed by Shooter.
Okay.
Back in June, and that's a nice looking book. Oh, that's the facsimile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody flexing. He's all, that's cute and all, but
I had to oh yeah.
Yep, Spider-Man Unlimited. Yeah, those were thick books.
Yeah. And Yeah. Okay, because I told so anyway, I said to the people, I can't do any will people. I can only do cartoons, drawings.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they say, and could you Hulk Hogan? Oh, you, but I said I can't do any cartoons.
Uh-huh.
No, sorry, I can't do any, will, people, because will people is like really hard to do.
Yeah.
People are hard to deal with too.
Yes, I know that because I got a whole bunch of people who try and be just like me coming into my live streams.
Yeah,
Teaching me, stuff.
I've
Yeah.
seen that before. I'm like, man, nobody's got a life, do they? They just want to be cool like you, man. That's what it is.
Yeah. And we got
Some Bizarro. Like that.
Talking about Bizarre, I was reading the Rebirth, the Red Hood and Outlaws
Uh-huh.
the other day. Bizarro was part of that little romp.
So a little book that you would surprise Kevin Van Hook if you sent off to get signed, maybe in the next batch.
Okay.
Is this.
Wait a minute, I can't. Let me put this up here.
It's the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
nice.
Oh, he did that one?
From Caliber. He did all the art in this. All 3 issues.
Huh.
Yeah. He made a lot of money doing it though, so
So I guess that's okay then.
yeah, he was okay with it.
I'm sure.
This book got hot pretty quick, didn't it? Astonishing Tale 6. First appearance of Bobby Morris.
Yeah, I looked up and I said, somebody said something about that. They got the Marvel team up book as being, the big 1.5. But I said, and they did verify that at the end of the thing, didn't they?
And
That it was her.
Yeah, they in not so many words. Yes, they did.
well, because because anyways, I actually read that. A pretty good story.
Yeah, Runaways.
Yeah,
I like Runaways.
the first one, the first. Oh my. Where is that one book that I did have? I can't.
What about this? You got this one, Jason? Mocross. First Robotech.
Yeah, I've seen it before. I just
Okay.
I don't know it, but
It jumped. This bad boy jumped up to like $100 in on the Key Collector app. Now, look, I work for Key Collector on a part-time basis, and I don't know why it went to $100. I mean, you can't even sell this for $100 anymore. The Alita Battle Angel first print. So I don't know.
So you work for Key Collector?
Yeah, me and Nick have a little. I do more. I do more editing on the site. I find things that are not correct and I fix them. But he's also given me okay to put books up, and I have. So
Okay.
There's a network of about 14 of us that do it. And I still don't get my membership for free. How's that?
That sucks. Use the code Tom101 to get yourself a free week of it.
Oh, I pay for it by the year, so it's cheaper that way.
It is, and it's a lot of people kind of poop on the app or whatever, but I use it as an easy way to like get first appearances because you don't have that in CLZ.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you wouldn't have known that this was anything if you didn't have the app, really.
Right.
Like Static Shock. This is a hard to find book, dude. But it's a pretty one.
Well, like I got this.
A little rocket racer, I see.
Yep.
So you buy a lot of your books at an antique shop, huh?
Yeah.
You know, that's smart. I do that as well. I go to a lot of antique shops.
Yep. And that only cost me $1.
Yeah, because you can get great deals at antique shops because they don't really know what they have.
Right.
Oh,
But you have to go through a lot of crap to find gems.
Yes.
You do.
oh my goodness. So and then you have to go. Oh yeah, because I really hate when they have the boxes or right on the ground and you have to bend down.
Oh, I'm okay with that. I'm like 4'2", so I you know, I don't even have to bend down.
Well, because I'm like
I'm already way closer to the ground. Like, look, this is a book I found at an antique shop. A Dan DeCarlo cover.
Ooh.
That's pretty, right?
Yeah.
That was not $1, by the way, but it was like $50. But it's 1952, I think, or something like. And it's a Marvel comic. It's Millie the Model 21, and it's nice. It's not beat to hell. And I bought this at the same time.
Nice.
This is 1948 at an
Who's
antique
the
shop.
publisher? Is it Dell that published?
This is actually Fawcett, I think. No, it's Dell. It's definitely Dell. It was definitely before they started putting Dell on the cover.
Right.
I think they started doing that with their Western comics, actually.
They never enjoyed putting the issue numbers on the outside. That always sucks.
I have some Tracy.
It's a Dick Tracy book, huh?
Yep.
That's a Harvey book. Okay. It looks like it's 70s.
Yeah, Dick Tracy talking in the watch, and people were like, "Oh, that's so far-fetched."
Well, hey, Mister, now look what we have now.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
We're still not talking through our shoes, though. So,
Nope.
You know, Maxwell Smart didn't get that right.
Spider-Man. Jeez, I have nothing like an Spider-Man.
All right, so that should be right there.
Oh, nice Mysterio cover.
Yep.
The same thing.
40 cents. I got
Here's another one I found in an antique store.
Callie, first great beast.
Yep.
First furry beast. But Callie Comics, thanks for joining us.
Hello.
You're asking. Oh, wait, who's asking a question over there? You help with the pricing.
Talking about yeah.
Oh, at antique shops?
No, Key Collector.
Oh no, I do not do the pricing. No, and really nobody does pricing on there. I've adjusted pricing down because some of the things on there are really stupid. But
well, sometimes I'm sure they use some kind of algorithm with it, but to do like the eBay prices or whatever. But sometimes it picks, because if you click on that link that go and takes you over to eBay, sometimes it doesn't pick up the right thing. So as far as picking up that price, so I've got to, if it's directing you to the that place, it's also probably not picking up the right price. But
a lot of those links are not right.
Yeah, I don't use it for pricing. I use it for
I don't either.
And stuff. Yeah.
I only use it as a guide, almost the same way I use Overstreet. I mean, if there's something that I'm just not familiar with from the 40s, 50s, or a pulp book or something,
Right.
then I'll use it for that. But it surprises me what's not on that app still sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, I just want to give a little plug. Over to my and they are the people who might be like sponsoring me.
Uh-huh.
They got they have a EB store. Everything. If you want to take a shot, maybe
Screenshot.
yep. Hangman collectibles. We buy and sell comics.
I want to open a shop that's called the bro, do the Tracksuit Mafia.
Yeah.
I want their own show. I want their own show on Disney Plus.
Yeah. And I got a couple first appearances.
The
rapier.
He might want to rethink his name now. I'm just saying.
And first appearance
the race.
Yep.
Oh, and that is my favorite. Oh wow, man! I know Papa really probably will probably say, "I want that."
Yeah, Mike Mayhew cover.
Yeah, boy, his work is unmistakable in it.
There is yep. That is a antique shop in
Niles.
Yes, I know. It Papa really probably while watching that, always lucky person mine, put it in my box.
Nice.
Yeah, right. That's what Pops would say.
That's what Pops would say.
Yep. And
So
I finally got that one. I've been looking for the odd time. The Spider-Man one that is I think the last one in the Spider-Man one.
So there are 5 bags in here.
Yeah.
And I just completed the first one.
Well, you might want to go get some coffee on.
Yeah, I know, right?
Sorry. And there is a place I went with my mom like at actually for my or like birthday. That guy got he bought I'm like joking around. He had file cabinets and file cabinets full of books, full of comic books.
Oh yeah.
Like full, meaning like the whole they're about 6 feet.
3, 4,
And he made his own book.
So, look at that.
That is a pretty cool book. It tells how he, he bought a couple of the old movie props.
Uh-huh.
He bought the one movie prop from he got the Lone Wolf Ranger, outfit.
Oh wow.
That's an impressive movie prop. Bam, bam.
That's what she said.
Well, obviously not. She bought you a Lego set.
Oh, well, because see, and the books I thought I was going to probably like, but I really don't like them. Robocop ones, I really not fan.
We got Speed Slayer 19 from over on Twitch. Appreciate you doing that. Says likes your book that you were showing off in.
And thank you. Yeah. I trying to find the one book where somebody want me to, see, but I can't find it.
Yeah, you never can find something when you're looking for it in.
Oh well, no, I have to dig. I got that one. It's a pretty sick one.
Yeah, Deadpool. And
Yep. Spider-Man and Deadpool as with the Grand Wahipa.
That's an odd looking cover.
And I got first appearance of the
Grizzly. Yeah, that is a fun fact. That's the first ever comic book I ever read.
Huh. Yeah, I went to a they always have a comic book wrap meet at the old Holiday Inn.
Okay.
There's some good books. And but the room is really, really, really small.
The Holiday Inn room that they have it in.
But the room is really, really, really small.
What's going on?
Hey,
what is up?
And
wait, they have internet in Fresno? What's going on here?
They have internet in Modesto?
What's going on?
Well, I had to Jimmy something, but yeah.
Internet in Fresno?
Oh, you got your YouTube on at the same time.
They have internet in Modesto? Let me get rid of that one. There we go. Fix it.
See what Fresno brings.
We bring the I don't know what we can say here. We bring the S show.
Right.
That's true. That is so true. I can't do any better. Modesto is not any better. Trust me. We know that.
Ugh. Dude, I'm enjoying all these books that are being shown.
Do you want to see more?
Yeah, so Ian, if you didn't know it, he's a Spider-Man fan. So
no way. Who isn't a Spider-Man fan, right? Yeah, it is an awesome.
Yeah, but the book was kind of wrecked.
The book is kind. Oh yeah, I can see it's missing a little bit of the cover there.
Yeah, I see that now.
Yeah. And somebody, because that's so weird because when I just because in the last night I just was just seeing if there's any more wreck. Somebody wrote my name right in the book.
Really?
I did not. Yeah, I did not write my name right in the book.
It was meant to be yours.
Hold on, let me show you. Right there.
There it is.
It was ready for you, man.
Yep.
Ian, what if you went back in time to write your name in that book for you to find it years later? Whoa.
Hey, dude, stop it.
Loop.
Stop it.
Time loop.
You're blowing everybody's mind right now.
Yeah.
What if Stan Lee wrote Ian in that for you, Ian?
Yeah.
What if Ian? That's it. Just what if Ian?
What if Ian?
Oh wow. And I see some
Season 3 on Disney Plus. Ian's What If.
Let's see. Also, I see some little, holes into the.
No, that happens. I mean,
That book was well loved and well read.
yeah, it was. From you in 1976.
Yeah, my
How far along are you there, Southern?
So this is what I got.
He's only got one bag of 5 done.
Yeah.
What is that? That must be the base because that makes no sense whatsoever.
No, this
And
right
I
now
got
is the
this
base.
book.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just reading the instructions for once.
What is
Hey,
that?
now that, my friend, that Hooters book right there is a rare book.
That is.
It is. That is worth some money, man.
Oh
No, no, it's not. No.
No, sell it to Chad. Yeah. No, that's like a $50 book right there.
Dude, that's just like a cool ass book to have. I mean, even if it wasn't worth it. Oh,
Hey, so Ian, you could probably go get that sign, and then that could be your homework assignment. Go into a whole
And you got to get some chili wing sauce on it to make it authentic.
get a picture. I want a COA.
Make sure Brandy signs it.
Right.
Brandy and Destiny and Jennifer.
Debbie.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I like these those little Walmart packs that have the masks in them. I walked down with my nephew down the hallway yesterday, and he freaked out a little bit. So I said, "Worth it."
Worth it.
See, look at that.
I can't find it. Oh, I have a Boris.
Oh, Boris Karloff. Yes, I like that book.
So, Southern, after you're done with yours, I'm going to have to do mine.
All right, there you go.
Oh,
the Venom one. Yeah, I've seen several of these. Obviously, Lego's selling them well.
There's a Carnage one out. I'm still waiting for a Spider-Man, but I know there's an Iron Man out. But me being the Venom fan that I am as well, I had to get this one first.
The thing about the Venom one is like all of the like if you're looking at these instructions here, it leaves a little bit to be desired. And I'm not really wanting to take it apart to put something back. I misread the instructions at.
Yeah.
The thing with the Venom one would be like it's all black or almost all black. So a lot of the pieces are going to look a lot alike.
Yeah, that's why it came with a full encyclopedia on how to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a full Britannica edition. But I can see where yours has a different whole bunch of colors behind the scenes like this.
Right.
Yeah. So I've got to pull the trigger and do it. I just never thought I'd have the patience, but I think you have the right idea by having people come on and keep you company.
It kills the monotony of it, and it's also good for ad revenue too.
There you go.
I get paid while I do it.
Well, since we're sharing things that we found randomly in random locations, I just found out that there was a hole in the wall collectibles and comic store.
Oh no! Don't talk about Wonderwall comics.
No. I know about that one.
Oh, okay, all right.
Everybody knows about that one. I mean,
I hope so.
If
I have a lot of credit there still. I'll let you know when I go there, but I have like $250 in credit. We can go hang out.
Sounds good to me. We'll long box for hours.
Oh yeah, I know.
I know how that sounds, but in our world, that's actually legit.
That's normal.
Me and you, we're totally gonna have a long box together. It's gonna be great.
Hey, we long box with the best of them.
Anyway, I got this.
Oh, hey, speaking of Walmart packs, I finally pulled a big book out of one.
Okay.
Oh,
whoa!
wow!
A second printing, baby.
That's cool. That's even just a rad cover in general.
Now,
period.
Which iteration of the Walmart packs? Because I haven't really seen anything big out of the ones that just came out. So is this the one where they had the whole variant gate? Is that the what book do you remember was the first book in that pack?
Yes, I do remember. It was this.
Yeah, those are the last packs. So yeah, you got some old packs that had that in there. Okay, cool.
What was weird though was these were 7 books for $10. There were 2 of the 3 packs packaged together with a book in the middle, and they were all cellophane together, and except for the middle book was not.
Oh, you got the 7 for 10 packs.
Yes.
Okay, so well, that's good to know too, because a lot of times I've seen some people open the 7 to 10 packs and say there's nothing in them but leftovers from the previous ones.
Oh no,
so obviously there's some good stuff.
There is, because this was in there for sure.
I need to get on that Walmart boat and slacking.
So, and I got some Madden Magazine.
Oh, some Mad.
Cool.
Duracell, Ever Ready.
My favorite thing about the Mad magazines was that folding cover that turned into something else at the end.
This was in there too. That Walmart exclusive was in one of those.
I have one of those.
Strange Academy. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
The blue.
Yeah.
Mine's the blue. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so CGC counts that as the second print.
Yeah, this is
Right.
the Jen Bartel Marvel Tales. This is from like 5 years ago.
Yeah, they got some older stuff in there. And that's what was so shocking when they had those ones that had the 1 in
Jenny
200
Frozen.
ratios. Oh,
Yeah.
the Jenny Fish and Thor.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, and did anybody actually read?
We don't read comics. What's wrong with you?
Never open them. Never.
Well, it came loose.
Yeah, I've never read that one.
Kind of weird.
The DC one that had that mask in. This was the first book that was on that was in the front,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, well, I'll buy that.
Did you get a bunch of Batman Fortnite ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was very disgusted with those those packs because
And
of
it's
all
the same
that.
freaking book. If I was a kid, I would have been pissed, dude.
Oh yeah.
Because it's the same book, just a different variant cover.
That's
Mhm.
right. Oh.
Woo!
All right, guys.
There he goes.
Hey, I'm reorganizing the spare room, which has all my comics and everything in. So I'm having to deal with stuff like this.
Yeah,
that's
because
Yeah,
because,
cool stuff like that. You got to find a nice place to
at the
display it.
antique store, I found a box full of just a 50-cent book. I pull out two each Spider-Man.
Oh, nice. Have you seen this Rose Besh cover?
Uh-uh.
Oh, that's
Sheena.
dope.
Yeah, this came out 2 weeks ago.
Well, I was gonna say it was new because I know when like that Wonder Woman cover that she done.
Yeah.
I mean, it shot up in price. That wasn't that long ago.
And then the Vampirilla Shannon Mayer cover.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Shannon Mayer is like, whew, man, he knocks
Oh, I
it.
know. Oh,
I found,
makes my hair stand up straight.
going through all this.
Stand up straight.
Just my hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I got a lot of it up here.
Yeah.
I found an original art piece my friend did for me.
You found an original art piece, your friend, did you? Okay.
I've
You
lost
forgot?
things, and it was in with the other posters I had. I was like, I
Oh,
forgot.
cool. That's nice, though. That's an Eric Larson feel to it.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. There you go, Jason. You got one of these in for your Batman collection?
I do.
Okay, very good.
It's a 9-4.
Oh, cool. Sweet. Oh, you know what? I got something you as a Valiant fan will like.
There you go. Show it up. I gotta find places for all these things. Ugh.
Why is this? I'm missing something here.
A
Nice.
double page spread.
Oh, look at that.
Pretty cool.
Little spider alien action.
Uh-huh.
Armorines issue 5, pages 11 and 12.
Nice.
I can't put this in a portfolio because it's one freaking piece of art. It's one full page. It's like 11 by 17 do. What the hell do I do with it?
Frame it.
Yeah. I got other pieces I'd rather frame than this.
I'm with you. I have some stills from the animated Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
Oh, nice. Okay. Were those in those Spider-Man issues that had like the animated series? Or those actual stills? Those are nice.
These are actually stills, but they don't have the COA or anything, so they're practically worthless. But they mean something to me.
They're not worthless.
Unlike
Just
this one.
everybody else. I like that. I like that one.
The original artwork on the back.
Nice.
Okay. That is crazy if I can't find.
4.
But Brian, next time you're in Fresno, man, I gotta take you to the secret spot. Oh, he's gone. He gone.
What? Say what?
I gotta take you to this other spot that's not Wonderland, man.
What's it called?
It's called
It's not Legends,
Neil's
is it?
Comics.
It's not Legends.
No, it's Neil's. It's really this hole in the wall, short boxes, long boxes on top of each other that look janky as all get out.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah.
For $1,
Okay. Yeah.
real quick.
That's my kind of hole. Yeah.
Then
Oh. Oh, see, now you're just flexing. Okay, so you know that Indiana Jones book right there? I know a guy at the flea market right down the street from me that has a long box of that book.
oh, just that book.
Of that issue. A full long box.
Dang.
And I offered him like $100 and he was like, I can't take that. I'm like, you've had him for 20 years here and you ain't sold one.
You had your chance every movie that came out.
Yeah.
So
But there's going to be one more movie.
yeah.
A time travel movie too.
But the dude is really cool. He's like, listen, I don't know what's in these boxes. If you have the time to look through them, go ahead. I'm like, okay, not a problem.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Jason, you like this. There's not many cardboard cutout Valiant cardboard cutouts from the original.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Here's the OA for the Armorines one.
that's dope.
Nice.
That one's pretty cool. Yeah, I won't tell you what I paid for that. Nothing. We'll just say not much.
That much, huh? Enough.
Or approved by Kevin Van Hook and Bob Layton. Here is the actual armor design
Oh, hey.
before the book came out by Mike Leakey and Jim Calafieri.
You got some dope stuff for sure, man. Those are actually really cool. I dig that.
For Valiant fans, they're cool, and it has the pencil overlay
Oh man,
as well.
that's still cool though.
So did
image, whatever, it doesn't matter. I think those are just super cool to have.
Yeah, they're pretty neat.
So did have you seen that there was a different Shadow Man that they were thinking to do? Bob Layton drew this picture with the guy with the staff, and have you seen this before?
Was this back in the 90s, early 90s, before Lapham?
Yeah. So this is they, I don't know if this is prior to Acclaim or what they were thinking about doing, because you had that older Shadow Man back from the 1800s.
Yes.
In the yearbook, but anyhow, I've seen it. There's this guy on eBay called Valfan. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Is he a fan of Valiant?
Yeah, he has it. So.
Yeah, he is a few things, huh?
Yeah. He's the one that has the axe, the Eternal Warrior axe.
Yeah.
And I think he got mad that I offered what I did for it. I mean, he went on this. he went on this long litany of, you don't understand this, that, and that. I said, look, if you don't want to sell it, that's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
you put out there or best offer. I made you an offer. You responded to it. Okay.
Yep.
But you can say no. Go jump off a bridge. I mean,
That's
right.
right.
I mean, it's fine.
Here's Harbinger 4, page 9.
Oh,
Can't find it.
that's cool.
Little Faith Christmas with their parents.
All right.
Back when they weren't trying to push Faith to be like the premier
Chubby hero.
universe.
All right, y'all. I'm jumping off. Thank you so much for having me on for a bit. I got chores and I got to talk to the lady about what's for dinner. So,
All right. Thanks for joining us.
All right.
Given the fact it's going to take you another 5 hours to finish this, I might be back.
No, he will.
Let's hope not. Not that you wouldn't be back, but let's just hope not that it's going to take me 5 hours.
I guess you're going to extend the show to tomorrow.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Like Lego build take 2.
Yeah, might be.
Jason, is your wife taking a nap, a long-deserved nap?
No, we have the young sets of kids. So they're not.
You know, I don't know why Bob Hall is not loved as much as he should be, but Shadow Man is still my favorite title from that time period. Only because it was the most consistent, in my opinion.
Well, and that would be the reason why it would be consistent, right? You didn't have as much changeover as you did on the other ones.
Well, he didn't go twice a month, which killed the books, let's be honest. But, I mean, his stuff on this is just sick.
Mm-hmm.
Just love it.
Well, and to me, Shadow Man Volume 1, it was because in Unity, I think it was in Unity that, it was said that, okay, Jack Boniface is going to die in 1999? Was that what it was?
Yes. Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah.
And so he's going to die in 1999. So you went through the whole premise of the whole book. Okay, look, I know I can't die before the end, so he just would dive in or whatever. Mm-hmm. It just seemed to me it had more flow to it than the other ones. There was a lot of going and starting and stopping in the other ones, especially towards the last issues, like with the last issues of EXO.
Yeah. Although Ron Mars turned that into a toilet read. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You could read it in 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah, it was. I thought you were going to say you were going to wipe your butt with it, but I mean,
I could.
I mean, because it to me it's just so different than what the EXO that I had been used to in the first half of the series.
Oh, agreed.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow, because I'm still yes, but anyway. Yes, so I can't figure out what happened to my one book. The exact same one.
Oh, Silver Sable. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't find that book. I put it in my box. Don't know what happened to it.
Ian, you know what happens, man? I have so many times looked in the same box thinking that a book is there, and then I go back another hour later and it's sitting right there, and then I'm like, son of a bitch, where was I at?
Yeah.
It happens all the time, man.
Like, could have been a snake, it'll bit you. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and I found a rare game at a antique store.
Oh wow.
A web game? Okay.
Well, I'm gonna see if my uncle can make that tape into a DVD.
Huh.
Like you can have your bun, Database Wrestlemania. The horror game.
Oh, nice.
WrestleMania board game.
Yeah.
WrestleMania board game. I will admit that Valiant hated working on the wrestling comics because the wrestlers had final say on the way they looked, and
Yeah.
a lot of that original art had stat pictures of the faces because once they approved one of the faces, they're like, screw it, we're just going to use the same damn picture.
Yeah. Well, because and for you kids who don't know what is a for you kids don't know what a PCR tape is.
No way.
Yeah. This is a tape.
Yes, it is. Now here, Jason, here's something that you don't see every day. Here's the colored piece, right?
Yeah.
Color guide, and then the ink.
So one of Hoarder's Hide. Have you talked with Hoarder's Hide before?
No, actually.
Yeah. So he has a lot of original art. He's actually got a piece that Barry Windsor Smith drew, an art piece for Deathmate that Jim Lee inked.
Okay.
And he sent me this, which is what you just showed there.
Yeah, it's a color guide. Oh, that's of Shadow Man issue 2 or
I think
3.
it's 9, but I might be wrong.
No, that looks like Lapham art.
It might be. I thought I wrote it on the back, but I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. I had a piece of Archer and Armstrong 1 color art that Janet Jackson actually painted and needed to sell it to pay for some shit when the kids were little. So happens, man.
Oh yeah.
And you on one side you say, well, man, I hate that it happens, but on the other side, I mean, in the back of your mind, you say, well, this stuff's gonna be worth something one day. And
yeah, because in my upcoming live, I'm gonna have a special guest.
Oh yeah.
The wrestler? No. Oh. He's in the comic book.
Mr. Perfect.
Rough Whoop. JB.
Oh, JB Discovery Bay?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. And we have to figure out what time we can do a stream.
Here's a cool looking Bernard Chang Mirage piece. I love that last panel right there.
So I was watching a show, well, Two Brothers Comics, their LCS there in Huntsville, Alabama. Josh, the guy that owns it, he was doing this show, and he was talking about like major villains or whatever. And he said, so in his top so many villains in comic books, he listed Master Dark.
Really?
I mean,
that's pretty cool.
And he also listed Toyo Harada too.
Okay.
And he's like, not that I'm a big Valiant fan or whatever, but just in reading it, back in the day, that they're the quintessential evil guy, right? The ends justify the means type deal, devious thinker type deal. And that's one of my gripes with more modern comics is that they don't like to have a good guy or bad guy. Or good girl or bad girl or whatever. It's everybody feels like there's got to be this messed up median ground, that everybody's got to be an anti-hero.
That's true. Even Dysart did that with Toyo in the reboot, really, because he thought he was doing the right thing. So, I mean, that's really what his character boiled down to.
Yeah, and like, I mean, the fact that they think they're doing the right thing, I mean, otherwise they wouldn't be doing it, right? But
correct.
Ultimately, it's for selfish reasons. I mean, they're wanting to rule the world to benefit themselves. But it's like nowadays in comics, you can't have a single hero and villain. It's got to be a anti-hero or largely flawed, or anti-hero or villain, but a largely flawed hero.
That's very true. That's very true. I know you don't have this book, and I told you I had more art than I have of issues of the book, but it's Armorines 4. This is the very last page of the book.
Oh, dang.
Nice.
And you can see it goes black. Just like Valiant and Acclaim back in 2001.
Really, Acclaim was ahead of its time. I mean, it was going to use comics as a medium to cross-pollinate what they were doing with their video games. It's just...
Yeah, their timing was off. Yeah.
Yeah, timing was off.
$65 million, man. They grossly overpaid. Grossly overpaid. I will admit, though, some of the art Calafieri did for Armorines was really good. I mean, look at that panel. That's just
that's great.
Striking. He used a lot of stats, but I don't really like stat pages like this, but what are you going to do?
Okay, so the other one goes on that way.
All right, I'm going to go put this portfolio away.
But yeah, original art is something I just started getting into and doing more.
I can't afford to do it now.
I understand your pain. All right, so then this does with that. And then this goes with that.
So I was buying when I was buying art, like all the Calafieri pieces I bought, it was like early 2001 or 2002, and let's face it, Valiant was and Acclaim was not on anybody's radar in terms of them being super excited about it. So right. I got a list from Calafieri about the pages he had left, and it was about 90 pages, maybe a couple covers, and instead of him just pricing them all out, I was like, look, I'm going to be at Comic-Con that year. Just give me a price. Give me a price for everything. And it was like $750.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's the other thing I was going to mention. I was like, well, I bet you he bought it like at the low. Nowadays, man, it's nothing to pay a couple $100, especially for a last page.
Yeah.
Like a last issue like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more desirable. What's going on, Starscream? One of the channel members. Appreciate you for popping in there.
Little Sean Chen, Exo Manowar BH2. Sean's one of those guys that's very underrated too, in my opinion.
Doesn't he have a stream online?
Yes, yeah, he does.
He does like a online stream.
Yeah. I got a signed 8x10.
Oh yeah, the Avengers.
Yep.
Well, look at that.
Guys signed by all of them.
Yep.
You must have bought that already done, because man, that'd be expensive if you didn't.
Well, okay. When I was at a special Olympics,
okay,
one of I don't know that one of the people who work with Robert Downey Jr.
Uh-huh.
One of his people he worked with actually gave everybody a so, so he gave everybody in the Special Olympics people who are athletes,
Okay.
man,
Very cool.
and they all get one of them.
Huh. That was cool.
That is
And
cool.
yeah, because he actually came. So he came to the he came actually to the special, so he made a saying saying, "Thank you for all the because like I said, it don't matter if people like cut you down, but always fight back,
Huh.
and don't let nobody tell you that if you are and don't see it don't matter if you are you born different. Just don't let people say that you can't do stuff."
That's cool. That's very cool.
Yep.
That's a beautiful piece, man. One you'll never get rid of, I'm sure, because it means a lot to you.
Yep. Okay. Oh yeah, because and one of the people who used to be in the community, but now he's not in the community. Mean no more. I'm not gonna say his name, but he offered me $55. Like,
Oh yeah. Who you talking about? Blitz?
no,
Not Jay Blitz?
nope, somebody else. Name.
Huh. I don't know.
That's a pretty awesome piece, man.
Yeah. Anyways, he was one of the people who saw all kind of stuff with everybody in the community.
Uh-huh.
He the leader. Give me all the scumbags.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not gonna say his name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yep.
You narrowed it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I don't know what happened to him, man. He used to do hope. I know what happened to Jay Blitz. He ripped too many people off, but
Yes, because I won his giveaway, and then a book he supposed to put in my box. Eddie, yeah. So Eddie never got, like he never. It was not my, it was not in my box. Perfect.
Yeah, you start ripping people off. It doesn't take long for that karma to catch up to you.
Yep.
yep.
Yeah, and like yeah, because I said when I hit the 1K, I'll be doing a pro wrestling box.
Well, you pretty close now. You're at what 964 or something, ain't you?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. And well, because I told my friend I really don't want to get monetized. I really don't want to get
Oh, okay.
like monetized because problem with that is like when I make the money, I have to like return it into the taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't want to do it.
I get that.
For sure.
Yeah. And I have my second channel. I'm working on. It's called Big E Collectibles.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because that is my nickname. What my mom and my family, always call me.
So wait a minute. What was your nickname?
Also, my nickname when I was a little kid was a big E.
Big E?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because and then I did, and then a Del Repo was a, actually he took my name, like copyright.
Oh.
So I wonder if the market is going to be softening a little bit on the Nintendo books. It's only natural, but a 9.8 Super Mario 1 just ended. 38 bids, 22 bidders at $960.
Huh.
That's about 2,000 less than it was selling for about 3 months ago.
Yeah, a lot of the big books are softening or have softened.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, and I supposed to go to a Western show. A new brand of that is a new promotion. Just trying to make the name.
Uh-huh.
And oh, well, man, because at first I looked so well first I did, first I looked on the first I see like who they got, what right in the list of names.
Uh-huh.
They got some pretty big names. They have a fourth. They have the late great. Um. They have Thunder Rosa, who bit her Rafaina was the late great Eddie Guerrero.
Okay, Eddie Guerrero.
Of course he dead. And I was gonna buy the tickets. I was gonna get up to the wing side.
Oh wow.
They charge $255.
Woo! That's big money right there.
Yeah. Yeah, because I said, you know what? I might have to probably buy the 25, maybe the $24 one. Yeah, and the seats are like way up high, but hey, I can see just good.
Take you some binoculars.
I'll do because yes, sir, and that is at the one place that if you're sitting up high and you can see everything good.
All right, Jason, I'm going to show you a few more things, and then I'm going to jump out for dinner.
All right.
So this is a piece that I love. Not a lot of people love this series because, and I don't think you're one of them, but the biggest departure from a character during the Acclaim days, VH2, was Ninjak.
Yeah.
Here is page 1 from issue 1. The original art.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, I'm going to jump down. Peace.
All right. See ya.
All right, see ya. I know it's not reveled, it's not loved, but like you said, this series was kind of ahead of its time.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, because I was reading the Shadow Man series the other night, and I was looking at, there was an ad in there for Ninjak, and it was talking about, with video games and all this other kind of stuff, does he still have time to save the world? And I was just thinking back. I mean, really, that generation was really when video games were really starting to ramp up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see that being a thing.
PlayStation was 2 years old at that time in 97 because it came out in 95. So PlayStation 2 was another 2 years away. Dreamcast came out in 99. That was Sega's last machine. So yeah, that was that generation. It was the first time that 3D was something in games, and it changed the way everything was going. So this is a cool piece because it's an unpublished, unfinished cover. Ninjak and Exo. I actually like this cover better than the published one. It's in blue line, except for the figures themselves, but Neil Vokes did the art on it. And it's Ninjak 6. Yeah, Ninjak 6. I tried to get Michael Avon Oeming because he was the inker on the book, but he's a little too big now to ink it for me. You know, powers and all that stuff. He's just not interested. So I was like, damn it. So I'm a big Mike McCone fan. And when he redid Magnus, I was excited because I love his art. He's such a tight penciler. So he did these character designs. And these are the designs that were in pencil when I got them. These are the ones that were approved by the editor. And I ended up getting Mark McKenna, his inker for the book, to ink them afterwards. Just kind of cool little character designs from the time. Definitely 90s. Look at that trench coat, man. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that haircut. Oh, my gosh.
So let me ask you a question.
Sure.
It's kind of easy with comic books because you have things like Go Collect or Cover Price, you know, GPA or whatever.
Yeah.
That to be able to value your collection for insurance purposes. How do you value your collection? I'm assuming that you have your stuff properly insured.
Mm-hmm.
How do you value that original art like that?
The original art's different. I have it categorized, and then I put a minimum of like $100 for just a standard like interior page. If it's something like that, you know, like a Ninjak page that nobody else is going to give a shit about. Okay. Now I paid like $25 for these back in the day because nobody wanted it.
Right.
So but I just put a standard price of like $100 on just per page on stuff that is just that I physically have. Now I have a second tier that I've done for something like this, where this is a Jeff Johnson XO 1/2 page inked by Tom Ryder. Like, to me, this is worth more than $100. Right? I mean, it's middle, almost like a middle splash, very Barry Windsor Smith looking style. So I put a second tier at $250. So I put this in that $250 tier. So in my categorizing for my for insurance, I have a $100 tier and I have a $250 tier, and then I would put something like this, a Sean Chen page from issue 45 of Bloodshot. That has, I mean, it's nothing too special, but it's worth more than $100 to me.
Yeah.
So I put that in that 250, and then anything above that, I just categorize everything else. That's not a cover or like a Lewis page or something like that. My covers, I have at least a minimum of $500 to $600, a minimum.
Thomas Z says claim. What's going on, Thomas Z? How are you, man? The channel supporters there. Yeah, the reason why I ask is because again, like with my CLZ app, I have all my comics in there. So I have all of them. I know what I got in there, know what I paid for them, and all that kind of good stuff. So that, so should something happen, either theft, just fire loss, whatever, that, know what we got to work with there. But, I was just thinking about original art. It's like, how do you even catalog? Like, do you have a catalog that says, okay, here's my pieces, and these are all Ninja Volume 2, page 1, 5, 10, and 12. Is that how you do it? Or
Yeah. I have I have it broke down by issue number, and mainly because most of my art is all from Acclaim certain issues. So like I own about 50 pages from McCone's Magnus run, and he only did 6 issues. He did 5.5 issues. So I have it broke down like that.
okay.
And if it's a splash, because I have every splash that he ever did for the book, except for issue 4, which had the presidents that were all robots.
I remember that.
There was a 2-page spread in the middle of the book that had all the presidents on it. But so I just have it clarified like that. I don't have that much. I mean, I have a lot of art, but I don't have a lot of like individual different titles of stuff. So I'll have like 15 pages from a book, a certain issue. So that helps it break it down much easier. Like this to me is worthy of a cover.
Right.
It's not, but I love that page. It's the very first page. No, it's the third page of issue 4. And I ended up paying $200 for this on eBay from a collector because I already had like 16 pages from the issue. And I was like, well, hell, why not make it 17?
Why not?
Because I'm crazy like that. But I think I'm the only one that does that. Like, that is actively looking for Magnus. I mean, look at it. This is a cover to me. The detail on that son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Page 3 of issue 1. It's crazy. And I paid $200 for that.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, even with it being Magnus and Acclaim, I don't know that you'd be able to pay $200 for something like that nowadays.
Not for the amount of detail that's on it. I mean, who knows? Maybe one day they'll make a Magnus movie or something, and maybe people will care again for these characters. But it's not going to be anytime soon, I don't think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I mean, even splashes like this, just bad guys. It's just cool.
For sure.
I bought way much of that stuff too. But it was so cheap when I was buying it. It was like I was buying in bulk, and it was like $10 a page. I mean, holy crap! I mean, why not?
Yeah, when I started looking at, and I picked up some last year or this year, I just got to thinking. So it's just like a sketch cover to a comic book, which I like to get artists to draw sketch covers and stuff. I mean, there's only one of them.
Yeah,
it's not like, which makes it hard. Like if you do get at some point, try to sell it because there's nothing really to comp it to. But just as far as the collectability of it, there's only one of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I look at this. I mean, like this could be a cover in my opinion. Full page. It's the president's hands, but unless you read the book, you wouldn't know what the hell it is.
Right.
This is the page 1 of issue 5, But his pencils are so tight. And McKenna was a really good inker on him. So I bought a lot of the pages from McKenna afterwards, and then I bought a lot of pages from McCone because I only live 7 hours from San Diego. So, of course, when I went to Comic-Con, I would email these guys way ahead of time and be like, hey, make sure you bring some of those pages. So, and I would go hang out at. It was funny because it was McCone and Califury at the same booth. They have the same booth every year, and so I was like wheeling and dealing on both sides of the table. And my wife would just sit there and go, "All right, I'm going to go drink some more alcohol, and you do what you're going to do." So, but I do. I think I own almost every splash from that run. I mean, here's another great one. But the problem is I should have been buying, instead of these, I should have been buying pages from Randy Emberlin, the inker from Mark Bagley, and buying, Amazing Spider-Man pages for about the same price.
Right.
You live and you learn, right?
Right.
Because Emberlin was selling them for that cheap. I got a piece of Spider-Man art that Bagley drew, had Mary Jane smoking in it, which was not something you saw in the comic book very much, was Mary Jane smoking. And it had Peter in the bushes changing and webbing away. And it was, I think, from like issue 364 or something like that. I don't remember, but I paid $25 for that page back in the early 90s. It was just a different time back then.
For sure. Well, I like that. Talking about that Magnus run, I like that cover they did. That was the homage to the old Gold Key covers.
Yes, that was very cool. That wasn't even the original cover that they were supposed to do, but they came up with that one because DC didn't allow them to do the throwback covers. So, there is a piece of art that George Perez did for Valiant, for Acclaim.
Really?
Yeah. You remember those Valiant Voyeurs? Those little...
Uh-huh.
So there's a solar one. And it has both Dr. Solar from VH1 and the Gold Key days.
Okay.
And the new Solar from the Acclaim universe. And they're both like facing off against each other. And George Perez did the art for it.
Whoa.
And it's not a piece you see very often because I don't own it, but I did have George sign my my Valiant Voyeur.
Huh.
And he was like, "What the hell's this?" when I handed it to him. And he looks at it, he's like, "Oh yeah, I did that." He's like, "I've never signed one of these before." I'm like, "Hey, you probably never will."
Well, yeah, because there's somebody on eBay that's selling a bunch of those.
Yeah.
There's like 4 or 5 of them they got. They want several $100 for them.
Yeah, that's a little much. I won a set from back in the day because I tried to save Ninjak, the title.
Right.
And the reason I really tried to save it was because I knew that once one title got canceled, they would all end up getting canceled. So that was the real motivation to it. And if you read the back of those issues, you'll see, I mean, they talk about it. So I think it's issue 10 or something. They actually talk about me doing that.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Brian was quite the prolific writer in the pages in the back of the Acclaim books. If you go pull any of those old ones out, you're liable to catch his name and his address.
That's my mother-in-law's address, which is actually still her house. Sungate Drive, by the way. I was there yesterday.
So Biggie, what's going on, Biggie Shack? Like Deathmate, but Brigade had to be the worst. Yeah, that was a Liefeld title, wasn't it? Max was my favorite read. Talking about Image. Let's see, Spawn, and now Savage before that.
Okay. Savage Dragon, huh? Okay.
Well, let's see here.
Have you got second bag done yet?
I am putting the last few pieces on this second bag here. So we are on the downward slope.
That is one of the oldest dad jokes ever, by the way. When somebody says, "Do you need a bag?" and you go, "Oh, she's at home." I have a bruised arm every time I try to do that because my wife hits me. She goes, "No, I'm right here."
Oh yeah. Sorry.
I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot you were there."
Right. Wink, wink. Okay, so this is going to go here. Supposedly.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at this little stack. That's a few pages.
That's a few pages.
That's all Acclaim, by the way.
Yeah, I'm be glad when they finally CBCS finally gets to sending me my Magnus gold key back. I've only had it since July.
That's all.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go put this back.
So this is should line up with that. Like that. All right, folks, that is so this is now starting to take a little bit of a shape.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so it's starting to take a little bit of a shape here. And this down here is where the little Star Wars sign goes. You see this right here. See it down there at the bottom. But yeah, so that is box 2. Now this was in. I'm not sure what this piece is for. This was in the first bag. That is a piece to help you pull a Lego out. Maybe that you put in the wrong one or something. I don't know. Always had to use your fingernail back in the day, but maybe that's what that is. They always got to put a few extras in here. Oh, yeah, that is what that is. Like if you put the wrong Lego on, you know, you have to put your little fingernail in between them to pop it out. That's what that is. It's a brick separator.
That's smart. That's smart.
Wow. Back in my day, we didn't have nothing like that. Okay. So, yep, this is officially bag number 3, and I'm under 2 hours. This is not a good sign, Brian.
No, I mean,
I could say, okay, well, I'm getting my rhythm, or that maybe there's some less bags or something. I don't know, but that is not a good sign.
All right, here you go, my friend.
Let's see here. So who done that?
Sean Chen did.
Okay.
And it's signed by Kevin. I asked him, he was at Stockton Con, and I asked him to do a Vin Diesel as Bloodshot, and that's what he came up with.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask, was it Vin Diesel Bloodshot since there's no hair on the head?
Yeah.
So since you know some people that know some people,
yeah,
was it just that Vin Diesel didn't want the CGI hair? I mean, what was the thought process behind a Bloodshot that doesn't have any?
They were going to add it. They were going to add it with CGI, and they just did not end up doing that. So, I think it was something that Vin asked. Oh, we don't really have to do that, do we?
Yeah. Well, kind of like Jennifer Lawrence, you know, hey, I'm a big enough star. I don't want to be a blue mutant, you know, the most of the movie. I want to be me.
Yeah, and she checked out of those movies pretty early.
Yeah, she was mailing it in.
Oh yeah, she was there for the paycheck. That's for sure. That was rough. It was rough. We'll see. I mean, Bloodshot 2 is definitely happening. So, my understanding is they're going to bring Dave Wilson back, the director of the first one, and they're going to go. They're going to start working on that soon. So,
You told me about the Harbinger stuff. I really hope that falls apart because, anytime you have something like that happens, then everybody doubts the validity of the future of anything, man, right? They're like, oh, you can't have a one-off, kind of like with Bloodshot.
yeah.
Nobody's giving it a buy because, it was released at the worst timing possible, or anything like that. But
Well, the Harbinger film is alive, very alive at Paramount, and they do have a budget of $50 million, which is more than Bloodshot had. The problem with this Harbinger film is they're leaving out key characters such as Torkelson. They're leaving out Chris. They're creating a brand new villain instead of using something that is already an IP currently. And because of that, they're stripping the very core of what Harbinger is all about, in my opinion. You can't really have... I can understand them not wanting to have Chris in it for a reason because of, the obvious one. Of him forcing her into a romantic relationship. Right. And I could see the questionability about that. But to not have her in there at all is something that I feel like is an issue. I reside in NorCal, Northern California, the 209. Not something I love to say out loud, but I am. So they're gonna do. I'm really shocked. I'm really shocked that they're not going to use Toyo in at some point in a Harbinger film. I mean, you have to, right? I mean, how can you not? How can you not?
Well, it makes no sense. I mean, I get, like you were saying, about the whole forcing yourself on Chris Steele, but why? And I get, hey, changing or tweaking stuff that you don't think was done right, but I mean that not to have Harada. I mean, I think you told me Peter Stanchek's not going to be in there either.
No, Pete will be the main person. Yes.
Okay, he will be the main person.
Yes, he will be the main person. But to create a brand new Psyot villain or antagonist when you have such a rich character sitting right there waiting to be used, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all. And I don't.
And one that is a minority.
Absolutely. And one that is a minority. Now, my understanding is that they're going to introduce another Valiant hero in the end credit scene for it. Somebody that likes to play with knives. But so that could be very cool. Maybe this could be a springboard into something else. I just don't see. If anything, this is probably just going to go on Paramount Plus. I can't see them putting this out on. I mean, they're starving for content on that service.
Oh yeah.
I would honestly rather see them develop a Harbinger television series for Paramount Plus and flesh out characters and do it right than this.
Yeah, well, and yeah, because if it bombs, it's not as big of a deal, and they can kind of work through some things, kind of get their feet planted right. We got Thomas Z throwing out the $3 super chat. Thank you, good sir, for that $3 super chat and making it rain in the right direction. Yeah, I mean that would be more ideal to me. I mean, to take the Disney mode of, hey, let's kind of flesh some of these other properties out this way.
I mean, we all could see Quantum and Woody as a Valiant fan to be a property that would work very well in a streaming environment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, the scene of both of Quantum and Woody in the bathroom at the stalls, and from the very beginning, I think that was episode probably issue 3 or 4 when they switched bodies and they don't want to touch each other's junk.
Right.
I mean, dude, that is comedic gold. It is so funny. If you've never read Quantum and Woody, if anybody's watching this and has not read Quantum and Woody from Christopher Priest, Mark D. Bright, do yourself a favor. Read the first series. It is balls out hilarious.
Well, it's funny because and talking about Quantum and Woody, you know, and so they're this slapstick, you know, humor type ish, which Archer and Armstrong can kind of be sometimes too.
True.
But it's like Valiant wants to do that with every cotton picking character they got now.
Yep.
Like Savage, the character. Did you read the latest issues they did of that?
I tried. They send me the PDFs, Valiant does, so I get to read them. And then I was like, I tried to read the first issue and I couldn't even finish it.
Dude, it was so bad.
It was horrible. I mean, why? And the writer came out, the original writer came out and said that he pitched them a full-on sequel to the original. And they said, no, thank you. It has to be just mismanagement. It's Heather Antos at the time. It's just people who have their own agendas. They're not putting out anything that anybody wants to read. That I know of.
Yeah, I mean the Shadow Man stuff's okay. XO a little less so. Now they're putting out Harbinger.
Yep.
I mean it's only one issue in because I haven't read the second one yet.
I haven't even read the first one.
I don't have really high hopes for it though.
Nope.
So yeah, I mean it's nothing, you know, classic Valiant. Anything. Right.
No, they've completely ignored characters like Divinity. They've completely ignored anything that was exciting during the 2012 reboot, in my opinion. So,
I mean, do you think that that's just because of, you know, something that they got against the Nash? I mean, what?
I don't think the people making the comic books don't have an agenda against Dinesh. They don't. The only person that has an agenda against Dinesh is Dan Mintz, and he's the owner.
Uh-huh.
So Dan's ego will always get in the way of everything. Dan, who should not have an ego, but does, and his claim to fame is helping to finance a small bit of movies such as the John Cena movie, The Blockers, which was horrible. Iron Man 3, he helped do the distribution in other countries, so he put up the money for that, which was a no-brainer in my opinion.
Right. Yeah.
I just the guy just doesn't have a lot of business sense, and which is I have not been very quiet about my displeasure of the new Valiant, which is probably why when Comic-Con comes back in July, I'm probably not going to be asked to do the Valiant panel anymore. So, well, whoopsie. So hopefully I'm good enough or well enough along on like Shortbox app writing articles and stuff that I can myself can get a press pass. So we'll see. I really did think for a while there I was gonna get a sign when I went down for the Bloodshot premiere that Dinesh had because I got an invite and I went down there. It was right before the pandemic hit or shut everything down. I had a sign all ready to go and I was going to pick it in front of the DMG offices in Santa Barbara. And that was going to be because the movie was Thursday. And so the premiere was Thursday night. And so I was going to drive back Friday. So I stayed the night in me and David Barron actually were like hanging out, and it was after midnight or 1 a.m. And then I finally went to bed and got up, and I was going to drive to Santa Barbara, and I had the sign to picket in front of them. And then I was asked not to. So by a certain person. So I didn't. Damn it. That would have been fun. Oh, you know what? One of these days I'm going to have to tell you about the time when before the Bloodshot movie came out, I was doing a Twitter countdown. If you go to my Twitter page, you'll see like every day I did a Twitter countdown for the Bloodshot movie, like from 126 days all the way down to number 1. I did a countdown each day to help promote it. And I got an invite to go see a preview in October of the film. And so I took my son with me, and we were going to drive down. And I've never told this story before. Only a few people know it. But I drove 7 hours just to go watch an unfinished film, by the way. Unfinished. And I got blocked. Sony did not let me see the film.
What? After you were done invited?
I showed my invitation. They actually printed, I signed an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. It was $1 million NDA, by the way. Me and my son both did. And then they came to me and asked me if I was Brian Wells. And I'm like, yeah. And they said, can you come here with us? And there's some guys in suits. And so I was like, all right, Men in Black coming out. All right, here we go. So they took me aside, and they're like, they had physical copies of my tweets talking about this Bloodshot thing every day. And so their fear was that I was going to incidentally blow parts of the plot through seeing this preview. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I signed an NDA that makes no sense. I signed $1 million NDA, both me and my son. What more can I say? I'm not going to do that. Wasn't good enough. I texted Dinesh. Dinesh came out and talked to them, and he was overruled. This is his first movie he ever was producer on, so he didn't have any clout really. And they're like, well, we're going to give you tickets to see a movie here if you want to go see any movie. I don't want to see any movie. I want to see Bloodshot.
I just drove down this far.
I drove 7 hours. They're all, do you know anybody on here? I'm all, no, hell no, I don't know anybody down here. I'm going to have to drive 7 hours back.
Oh, man,
So,
I would have been so too.
I was a little upset. So they gave me enough Visa gift cards to cover my gas for there and back, and some movie gift cards. And yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. My son didn't say anything until we got in the car on the way back, and he goes, well, Sony knows who the hell you are. I was like, yeah, apparently they do.
So, Chip 3 Pops, thanks for joining today. Just sitting here chit-chatting about various, seems to be Valiant related stuff, but we are trying to put together this little deal.
Sorry, guys. Valiant is boring, I know.
To some people. I mean,
Some people.
just consider who you're talking to. But yeah. So I don't know that I've ever asked you, but what was your take, if you can give an unbiased take, right?
On the movie?
Yeah.
The movie is not as bad as people say it is, in my opinion. It's a fun, brainless action film.
Yeah.
I thought it was well directed by. I thought that he directed a really decent film. Obviously, they know that in the tunnel that flour would be flammable. They're not idiots. That was done on purpose just because it looked cool. But they know that would not really happen. I thought that the whole thing was a mild mind screw with you. You know, the you know, what was real, what wasn't real. I thought they did a pretty good twist in that right at the 20-minute mark or so, because if you weren't really, you really had to pay attention to that film. If you were just watching it, I mean, yes, it's a mindless action film, but there are fun moments in it.
Yeah, I think that if you take what Disney has done or Marvel has done out of the picture, okay, and quit trying to make everything a Marvel movie.
Yep.
And like you said, it's just an action flick. You don't have to be really well versed in Bloodshot lore, because they didn't, you know, go back and pull a lot of it. There is some more from the newer deal. I mean, that character that was in the movie, she wasn't actually released in the comics until later.
Yes.
So
and should never have been released to the comics, by the way. There's a lawsuit pending for that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Valiant cannot claim that character because it is not a creation. It is a creation of Sony and their writers, not Valiant.
Huh. But, you know, aside from that, I mean, it was what it was supposed to be, an action flick. It's got Vin Diesel in it. I mean, how much? This was my biggest grief on it.
Okay.
So two things: the hair. The hair was a thing for me,
and the wife beater, right?
What's that?
And the wife beater.
I think no. Well, no. So three things then. I really would have liked to have seen him have the white skin
more than they showed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And that is the full plan for the sequel. That is the plan for the sequel. What sucks is you've seen the alternative ending that's on the Blu-ray, right? Okay, so there's an alternate ending on the Blu-ray that that has a pool. Okay, so in the film, there's a scene where the director is taking Vin Diesel's character Ray through the place, and you see a pool, and that's the same place that KT has her scene where she pool dances, not pole dances, but pool dances. Get it right. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing her pole dance. Let me be clear. But in that swimming pool, in the actual film that was cut out, the ending, the scene with the Outlander guy, that's where the finale with that character ended, instead of on the in the elevator on the side of the building. So that was done later. In the original, he uses his bloodshot nanny technology to control his electronic arms, or his legs, I'm sorry, and he keeps him underwater until he drowns. And so they kill that character, but they want that character back for the sequel, so they changed it. So that's why you don't see the body after when the elevator drops. So so they don't. Dinesh showed me a print of the ending that actually went further than that, and it wasn't actually on the Blu-ray, which is weird. I saw the full ending because even what's his name, the director's death is different than in the film. That whole scene where Bloodshot is like going towards him, and then, you know, in that car he pulls out that weapon and shoots it, and it explodes around him, right? Vin wasn't even there for that. That's all CG. Even Vin's character completely is all CG in that. It's well done.
Yeah.
that is a new technology, a CG technology, which was developed and used in that film for the first time. So pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, and again, I mean, that's minor stuff, I guess,
It
to
is.
the overall deal. And if people would just say, okay, if you have a bias against Valiant, you don't have to be good or pro or against Valiant. You can just enjoy it for what it was. I mean, that's all.
I agree. A lot of people are biased against Valiant. They just don't like Valiant, and I don't understand those critic or those people crucial like that, because I can't. I don't have that mindset. But to me, their argument is invalid. Yes, Turok 1 did not create the destruction of the comic. They love to say it is. They love to say it's Turok, but I think 8 million copies of X-Men 1 had something to do with it.
Or how many copies of Spider-Man 1? I mean,
it's like 1.7 million of that, right? Or something like that at the time. It's crazy.
I mean, there's quite a few of them out there. So I was in Mobile, Alabama, going through some loan boxes of a comic shop, and he says, "Well, what do you collect of?" I said, "Well, I'm looking." At that time, I was filling in a lot more holes in my Valiant stuff, and he said, "Yeah, I don't like Valiant or whatever." And I'm thinking, well, one, I'm telling you that I like Valiant, so I would think that you would push aside what your thoughts are and say, hey, I want to sell some books. But he blamed this guy. Obviously had a shop in the 90s, and he blamed all his problems on Valiant. And I'm like, but did you only order Valiant comics? I mean, did you not order Marvel or anything like that? No, it's Valiant's fault. Okay.
Apparently things are getting vacuumed in front of my door.
Well, and I mean, it's, and certainly anything going on now, you certainly can't blame it on Valiant, because that Valiant don't even know what Valiant's doing right now.
Yeah, they're about as irrelevant as irrelevance. If you looked it up in a dictionary, I mean, they're not even. I mean, Bad Ideas talked about more than Valiant has been in the last 2 years. It's crazy how he has done exactly what he has embarrassed them, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Absolutely embarrassed Valiant for what he has done. He has taken every single one of their quality creators and taken them over to Bad Idea and has been successful with it. Whether you like Bad Idea or not, and a lot of people are haters, they've done exactly what he's wanted them to do.
Yeah. And like you're saying, I mean, any top 10 list or hot this week list, I mean, where's Valiant at? But Bad Idea books are on there. Yeah.
When was the last book that you remember was a Valiant book that was on a top 10 list? That was current Valiant.
Oh, no, none of the current stuff. No.
Never. It's been since Savage was for a while. Right when it came out, those 1 in 50 black and white Louis LaRosa variants were very tough to get. The maybe those metal covers were on the top 10 once in a while, but it's been a long time.
And they've had some stuff since then, like the glass covers.
Yes.
That they've done. They did one. I didn't even realize they did one for Ninjak 1, and I just don't like that comic so much. I don't even know if I want to pay $60 to get the glass one.
Nope.
I mean, it's just that bad.
And you can't even get that graded. So why?
But yeah. So I mean, he has embarrassed them, from that standpoint. And they've got the IP. They could be doing stuff, but they don't have any. They have just about Colin Bunn, maybe the exception. I'm not that he's a star writer, but he's not a no name. But who do they have aside from him that's doing anything over there? Nobody.
I mean, they had Peter Milligan for a little while, and Peter's done some quality stuff in this. Here for Peter's a name, but It's funny. Once Dinesh was gone, I remember walking by Jeff Lemire at the hotel in San Diego, and Lemire had been my guest for on my panel for Valiant 2 times, and so me and him have known each other for a while, and so I just looked at him and I said, "Never again, huh?" And he goes, "Never again," meaning I'm not going to write for those guys again, ever. So the way that it went down, forcing Dinesh out the same way that Shooter was kind of forced out in '92. It was tough. It was tough.
Yeah, it is kind of strange how history seemed to have repeated itself again with the same company, and it's not even all the same people, involved. So it's just the characters, the only thing they're saying.
I think there's only 2 people that were around at that time that were still have something to do with the company, and that is Walter Black and Fred Pierce. That's it. Fred is one hell of a poker player, by the way.
Spider Girl, what's going on? Happy holidays to you as well. Rob's Fat Stack of Comics. How is it going? Well, I know you said something a while back that you were going to get off and
my wife just let me know that dinner's ready, so I need to probably get out of here. Well, I will check in if you're still on here. How many more bags you got?
I am on bag 3, and I'm winding it down right here on bag 3.
Okay, but you got 2 more, right?
Yep.
Okay, we're 2 hours and 26 minutes in, so that means 5 hours.
Yeah, so we got some coffee here.
Okay, there you go. All right, well, I will check back in with you later.
All right, thank you, sir.
See you later.
All right.
Bye.
Jonathan, War Machine Punisher. Hey. Appreciate everybody for hopping in. If you stay a little while or see what in the world is he doing now, that is all understandable. I am trying to, and that's my daughter not wanting to go to sleep, or maybe my son not wanting to go to sleep, one of the 2. I am putting together this Boba Fett Lego head that I got for Christmas, and it's taking a little bit longer than what I anticipated. Maybe I was just being overly optimistic. Oh, okay, so there's only one side of that, and there's 4 here. I will say that Lego does a lot better job than what they used to, that I remembered from Lego sets, but there weren't a lot of Lego sets that I had back in the day. Mainly it was just stuff that they just gave you blank Legos and said, let your imagination go, which I was okay with. All right, let's see. And then you'll have this. And then you got this. Goes on top of this. All right, this is the problem. I skipped a step. This is what happens when you skip steps, people. All right, so we're going to put that there. We'll have this here. And I'll go ahead and drop it down in the chat if anybody wants to jump in, chit chat, distract me. That's true. That's true. Yeah, the things with the Lego kits, like you ain't got to worry about your hand being a little jittery with car paint or, putting too much glue on it or something like that. So, yeah, that's true. I thought about that, Rob. But so as far as stuff that I've got going on this week, I'll probably be doing a whatnot sale at some point this week. So check me out over there. There's a link in the description below. Then I will be on Lady Fantastic's channel Thursday, as me and her and some other folks are going to be showing off our biggest pickups of the year. And that's what we'll be doing Thursday. Yep. All right, so that's what the problem was. Okay. All right, so there's one. Okay, those are supposed to stick out. That's what the problem is. They're getting high on glue. Yeah, that is a downside. For every up, there's usually a down, Rob. And that's one of the downsides for sure. No getting high on glue. I will say that a neat little contraption that they have now that they did not have back then was this little brick separator. So basically, it helps you pop the little things out if you put them in the wrong spot. And, you know, back in the day, you just had to have your fingernails. And if you didn't have fingernails, you had to use your teeth. At least that was me. What's going on?
Brick separator. I thought that's what our teeth were for as kids.
That's what I just said. That's what I used to use it for, to pull it out with my teeth.
I mean, it's so crazy because I remember kid, you had the model kits, and that was always the big thing, was to go get, what model kit were you going to get? What was your theme going to be? Were you doing cars or helicopters or battleships or whatever?
Uh-huh.
But then Legos were just Legos. There wasn't a kit, and it was anything you wanted to be. We just had a big denim bag with cinch sack that you set down and it opened up and all the Legos were there, and whatever toy mom and dad wouldn't let you have, you just made it out of Legos.
Yep.
But,
yeah, so I had I don't know if you were in here earlier when I was talking about this, but I had the biggest room in the house growing up, and so I had plenty of space for my Lego table that was Lego City.
mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, they didn't have the kits. It was just a whole bunch of boxes and said, let your imagination get after it.
Yeah, we had it's funny. The house I grew up in, with a lot of the Legos, was a converted garage. Was the room that we had to play in, and it had a loft up in the air that the toys, we'd have to climb a ladder, and we'd have a little area we could play up there, and then we could bring them down. But at the end of the day, you had to pull them up and put them back away up in the loft. But we couldn't have, for whatever reason, my parents were didn't want us to have Transformers, didn't want us to have Mask, all kinds of. The only thing that we couldn't have GI Joes, none of those things. We could have Star Wars, and that was it. It was like somehow the fantasy violence was okay, but all the other stuff wasn't. But we would make Transformers and Mask vehicles and stuff out of Legos, and that's actually was far more challenging, I thought, than today, just putting a kit together, following instructions, and to sit there and try to conceptually come up with, how am I going to make something that transforms into something else using bricks?
Right.
And you didn't even have the specialty bricks that you have today.
Yeah, and what's funny is when I started doing YouTube, I don't know how I ended up finding these channels. These people, there's people just sell bricks.
Yep.
Like Lego bricks. And it's a business.
Yep. Apparently. I know it was difficult when actually when my son was that age and we I was trying to find just plain. I said, "Where's the kit of just piles of bricks that I could just throw into a bag so you could
Right.
just, because I was thinking of what I had." And eventually I found stuff and got it for him, and he had very little interest in it. And his thing was like all these kits, and he would build them with his grandfather. And I mean, it was great. They took time to do that, and and then they'd set them up on display, and that was it. And I'm like, these really are the model kits of the day where you would go through all this hassle of building these things and then put them on display, and that was the end of it.
Yeah, I will say though, I will give it to Lego's marketing department that
Oh,
they have done a good job of keeping relevant, because
oh
now
yeah.
you've got, of course, Lego movies and stuff like that, video games.
Hmm.
Because if you think about other related type play materials in this digital age that we live in, they've gone the way of the dinosaur, like the Lincoln Logs and stuff.
Hmm.
Whereas Lego has been able to be relevant in this time. So.
Yeah, no, that's true. They've taken themselves on, and they've taken, not only have they done well with the licensing, but then because via their video games and their movies and TV shows and stuff have then therefore created that connection with the youth to want them to get in there or to make stuff appropriate for them and whatnot. So yeah, no, kudos to them. They've done a great job keeping that uh not just relying on nostalgia, because that's what it is with Lincoln Logs, right? You can still get them, but the people that are buying them are people our age who are buying them to give the kids, thinking that the kids are going to want to play with them, and then they look at them and go, "Why'd you give me a box of sticks?
You got this outside.
What am I supposed to do with this? Oh, you could build a ranch or a log cabin or a barn." Uh-huh.
And I
Yeah.
would really do that. Why?
Meanwhile, we would use them to build fortifications for our Star Wars figures and whatnot.
Yeah, I have this little rant with my kids all the time about that. This generation has zero imagination on anything,
Because
unless that phone tells it to.
yeah, I mean it's a very different type of play. Although I still say that young kids still do have some. I mean, I remember, take my son, at least now my son's 20 now, but
Yeah.
when he was younger, yeah, it was different stuff. We got him Thomas the Tank Engine stuff and whatnot. But he would sit there and be spend hours building elaborate track setups and configurations and running, train drama. But it was always still playing within the confines of what it was. I don't recall seeing a lot of what we did, which was take something and then find a different way to appropriate it into something, some other toy or play way, other than what it was necessarily intended, because that's all you had.
So, yeah, exactly. So, when I was in elementary school, I made there was I went and got an ice cream cup, and so the cup did like this, and then it kind of
Hmm.
floraled out, and so I took this brown packing tape around the handle of the cup,
Hmm.
and then clear a plastic tape on the side, and then took a Gatorade bottle. The Gatorade bottles, would pop, and I put it on the side so it's like a flashlight. So you hit the button, it goes boop, 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 like a
Nice.
flashlight. So I took it to school and showed my teacher, and so she made a point to get up in class and say, "So you see what Jason did here? Nobody has any imagination." So I said that to say that it's not like a new thing. It's
Hmm.
been kind of happening for a while now, as we've gotten to be more of a, I don't know, seller in our ways, I guess. But
Yeah, well, I still fond memories of a lot of the stuff that we did, and I remember trying to appropriate some of the stuff, like for scouts when I was leading a Cub Scout pack. We were trying to do basically what we call genius kits, and you would just give everybody a kit of miscellaneous things that were, might be craft sticks and duct tape and carpet scraps and all kinds of oddball stuff, and say, okay, you have to build something. Here's the theme. and build something based with whatever you only get what you have. Build whatever you want, but just come up with something. And it was kind of mixed results than how I remember it as a kid. But then again, my memory as a kid was jaded by thinking whatever I did was probably phenomenal. So
Sure.
everyone
Well,
else probably, all the adults probably looked at it and go, this
yeah,
kid's
what an idiot.
spent too much. Is he eat dirt or what?
Yeah, so true. And of course, now you look back and have fond memories, and then without thinking, man, my childhood sometimes sucked. Of course, back then I thought it sucked, and now I think it was pretty cool. So,
Right. Yeah. Everything's colored by the moment.
yeah,
It's much like anything else. We tend to remember the good stuff, and the bad stuff you try to push it down and leave it off to the side. Otherwise, people wouldn't keep on moving, right?
true. True that.
Wow, did we just get deep? Sorry about that.
Yeah, this is Lego build. It was meant to be, philosophy 101. Yeah.
So this is what Boba Fett's head? Is that what I saw?
Yeah, this is Boba Fett's head. So I am almost down, almost at the end of the third pack. They've got it divided into 5 packs, and rounding it out on the third one. So, but I think about like used to do puzzles,
Mm-hmm.
and just sitting there staring at the picture and then trying to match it. Like I don't even know if I could pay my kids to do a puzzle nowadays.
Oh, we like to do those ones that are like 90 degrees on both sides, and you should. The suggestion is you should almost take your phone and rotate it 90 degrees so your image filled your screen.
It was supposed to. I don't know why it didn't.
Or maybe the camera, I guess, orientation thinks that it doesn't matter whether you rotate the camera or not. Apparently that's not. Oh, there it goes. Now you're widescreen.
It was like that. I don't know. Maybe when I changed back, might be when I changed back from my front camera to that. That might be why it did that.
Now people can see what you're doing.
But yeah. So what you got going on this week on your channel? I know you did a Slab Hub Junior.
Yeah. I do have a mail call video that I actually still need to edit now that I remember that. That air drops tomorrow. Then I don't know, Thursday I may have some mystery bundles that I may I usually do a mystery box or something on Thursday. And then Saturday is, of course, Slab Hub. We'll come back to live programming starting here up on the 1st. And we're going to have Karate Kevin from Superpower Reviews on Monday the 1st.
So you're in the links chat, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you seen where he dropped that information about that guy that was selling those $777 mystery boxes?
I saw something about it. I didn't pay ton attention to I tend to skim these group chats.
Man, yeah. I don't get notifications on my phone for Instagram because I never get anything done.
Turn them off. And
yeah, and then I come back and I try to skim through stuff, but I just happened to see when he posted it, and which DJ, he does a lot of bigger boxes like that.
Yeah, but it was something about 77 of these boxes
right.
At 700, and it's like only release them if they all sell. So it's, in other words, like I don't really want to sell them because that's just.
Well, so this guy reaches out to me after DJ had mentioned that. This guy reaches out to me and says, "Hey, I seen where you opened some mystery boxes. I don't know if you'd be interested in mine." And I said, "Yeah, I've actually heard of yours just today." And he says, oh, "Okay, cool." And I asked him, I said, "Well, one question I have though is, are you going to sell them if you don't sell 770 or 77 of them rather?" And he said, "Yeah, he had I think he said that he was changed his mind and he was going to do it if he had sold at least 30 something. And he had already sold about half of that at that point, according to him.
I don't
The
understand
only-
why you wouldn't, but
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, and the only qualm or the only hesitation, which I bought one, but is the reason why I bring it up. But and you had mentioned open mystery boxes. The hesitation that I had was, okay, you're going to say, have you already put these boxes together?
right.
Because if you haven't, then how do I know you're not going to say, well, all right, those other really good slabs were in the boxes that didn't sell.
Right.
So
Yeah, and I hadn't seen, from what I had heard, I hadn't seen that there was much of a preview on the stuff that was given how many quantities and how much money it was, and my understanding
so
this
I
guy's
asked him
somewhat
that
new too.
Yeah, so there were going to be 3 slabs and a couple of raw books in each box.
Those better be some pretty impressive slabs.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, I was looking at and that was one of the things that the links chat had brought up was that he's new and
Mhm.
newer people that do mystery boxes, as long as they're legit, obviously, are more apt to probably put more value in there just so that they can make a name for themselves.
Yeah, but you don't make a name for yourself on a $700 mystery box.
If
I
you sell
mean,
a bunch of them, you do.
No, you work your way up. I mean,
Yeah.
you come out great. You want to start off with 150 bucks, right? With great. You want to come and start working your way up, great. Maybe even you start as bold as starting at 250, right? But I mean,
That is a pretty lofty goal to start out at. I would agree.
yeah, and so many boxes.
Right.
I mean, who has that much high end inventory unless they've acquired, that they want to get rid of, unless they've just been acquiring like a collection or something and just trying to get rid of it. In which
So,
case,
which was another question that obviously some people had because he shared a post on his Instagram that hey, here's the conversation I had back and forth with the person that I bought this collection from,
mm,
and to show that hey, it is legit, that it's not me coming up with stuff or taking pictures of somebody else's books type deal.
well, it's
So if I get ripped off, I'm blaming links.
yeah, there you go. I mean, I really have a problem with jumping up those that price point just as a price point that it doesn't matter. I've seen even like eye candy where I've seen amazing stuff. It still doesn't matter to me. It's like, well, you know what? When I start dropping that kind of coin on a mystery box, that's like I either want such a preview that I know that no matter what box I get, I'm going to get something that I want out of it. Or at that point, it's like, why don't I just go get? Let me just go get whatever it is I want. Because for $700, I can get one. I can get some pretty nice books.
And I hope I don't regret it because normally I do not buy from people on Instagram that have under a certain amount of followers.
Right.
Not that followers, verify that somebody's legit or not necessarily, but
they've at least been around a little bit to acquire
exactly.
them.
And you can kind of vet them out with other people that have dealt with them. So I did kind of take a risk. I hope it works out, but because I just bought another copy of Tomb of Dracula 10. That's signed by Marv Wolfman. So
nice. Yeah, no, because that's the things like I did, for me, I stepped up when I did the Dorkeries when they did the first one, but they already had a presence that, at least within the community. And then I did their first 2 boxes when they did them, and I missed out on the last couple ones. But they've started to get into that price range where I'm like, oh, I don't, I'm fine missing out on it, and because even though they're quality boxes, it's like, okay, but I'm going to get a couple pieces in there that are for me, and the rest of the stuff's going to be stuff that still, yeah, there's value, but it's not maybe not stuff for my collection. In which case, it's like, okay, now I have to get rid of it because, or I'm just holding on to extra miscellaneous stuff, and that's for me. That's just where it is when I'm spending that kind of money. But I know other people don't care; they're more into selling stuff and flipping it and making their money back, and I've just always been too damn lazy to do that half the time.
Yeah, that if I can sell it fairly easy, I don't want to have to be up to the top end of the market to sell
Yeah.
it. I just rather leave some money on the table and let everybody be happy and me sell it quickly, because there is a such thing as opportunity cost. And if I got to sit there and wait for 6 months to sell a book at top dollar, that money could have been doing something else.
Yep, indeed. No, I understand. I'm in the process of getting around to finally putting together the books for my January round, which will be my 4th box I've ever done. So I don't like to do that. I don't do too many of them, but I finally have all the raws gathered up pretty much, and we start going through my stuff, going, okay, what slabs am I gonna part with?
Do you have a hard time doing that?
I do.
Yeah.
Because I'm a collector, right? I mean, the raws are easier, primarily because there are certain books that I've acquired for this purpose, or where I've got like doubles or triples of something because I was wanting to make sure I had one that was going to be a 9.8 candidate to send in, right? And so I got my one that I want, and now the rest of them are available. And even though they may still be 9.8 candidates, I don't need 3 and 4, whatever, right? So, yeah, from that aspect, the raws aren't too bad. It's the slabs are a little bit harder, and especially since I have a lot of my collection, or there's a sizable chunk of my collection that's PGX, and I've done PGX slabs in some of my mystery boxes before, and people just get all bent over it.
Oh yeah.
And so unless it's just an amazing book, way overvalued type stuff, like, okay, I'm going to throw it in Iron Man Submariner #1 in a PGX 7, and I'm going to throw it in a $200 mystery box. Yeah, then people don't get bent, right? But if it's something where it's a $100 slab and you're throwing it in there, and they go like, oh, but it's a PGX slab, so.
Yeah, it's almost as if you have to do a disclaimer. Hey, you might get a PGX slab in this box.
And I did do that one time. There was one of the rounds of boxes I did. I said, look, there's every box is going to have either a 9.8 or a CGC, or it'll have a 9.9 or 10.0, a 10.0 PGX. So the only PGX I gave away were 9, 9s, and 10s. Okay, and still. I watched I think DJ opened up and got like one of the 9.9 Transformers with Soundwave on the cover. These like amazing Virgin variants, and it's rated a 9.9, and he has this look on his face like I just shot his kid in front of him or something. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, guy, man, you got a 9.9 freaking if you can flip that, okay?
Yeah, well, I mean, if it ends up not being a 9.9, you're still okay.
Yeah. Oh no, it came back a PGX or CGC 9.8. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's
that's why I don't do mystery boxes, because I know how hard I am to please sometimes. So
yeah, I mean that's it. The standards are high. I've done 3 rounds of mystery boxes. The first time I did them, I was overzealous a little bit, in that I made like 2 different price tiers, and I was trying to sell essentially 2 different sets of boxes simultaneously, with having had no history. And I think at the time I had maybe 400 something Instagram followers or something. So it was like, it was tough slogging. I finally got through selling them all, thanks to Gary B and some others helping put out the word in some channels. And this was like last Christmas, I think. And then later on, I did another round, which was like every book in there was like it was like the Let's Go Drinking mystery box, where every book in there was 21 years of age or older.
Okay.
So there was no moderns, no um, no that Spider-Man booth stuff, whatever. And it had mixed results. I didn't see a lot of people post their box openings, so I don't know if people liked them or if they didn't post them because they didn't.
Because they suck or whatever.
Yeah, they didn't care for them, whatnot. It was kind of like, okay, yeah, there was value there, but some people felt the books, like, oh, I don't, there. Most of them had like a run in there. There'd be like 3 or 4 books runs of either Flash or Batman or something, and they go, oh, I don't like the Flash or I don't like Batman. It's like, okay, well, fine. All right, so I took that to heart. And the third batch I did, went really well, went really fast, and people really liked. They were really, there was like they were $250 mystery boxes, and it was like guaranteed like $350 value. And then one of the 10 boxes had a market value of over $600.
Oh wow.
So that was my grand prize box, right? So it was, that run went really well. And then since then I've had people asking if I was going to do another run, and I've just kind of been like, well, maybe eventually at some point. So it's taken me only like 5 or 6 months to start to get to the point where I've cultivated what I want to do for my next round. Just haven't figured out my price point yet.
Yeah, if you want to do a super big one or what.
Well, it's like I like to try to keep them. My kind of high point that I don't want to go over is 3. I think that people are much more comfortable on the box, and the number of people that are willing to entertain the mystery boxes if they're under 3, and then it really depends on what you put in it. And how do you achieve that value? If you're going to achieve that value by just sticking a bunch of raws in there, people they tend to not like that. So there's got to be at least one slab. I'm trying to decide. I have to start doing math on my books that I have and start to figure out, is this going to be a 1 slab or is it a 2 slab? And that'll determine whether it hits the 300 price point or whether it's going to be below that.
That's a lot of work that goes into it.
It is. And that's why I haven't set a date. And I've told people, some people have asked, and I've said, yeah, I'm kind of working on, but it's probably not going to be till January before I am ready to do anything with it, because there's a cultivation process, and then you got to go through there and you got to start figuring out values. And of course, values are changing right now, all over the place. So you're trying to build out overvalue. What was overvalue last month is now undervalue.
Yeah. Did you see my Boxed at Euros review I just did?
No, I did not. But most Box Heroes reviews are about the same.
Yeah, me and Gary B had about the same reaction.
You get about $20 value out of your $40 box.
It so sucked.
Yeah, I've not been impressed by any Box Heroes box ever.
Well, I mean, the first ones that I got, they had Mylars, so that was a good positive, right? That even if I didn't get a sorry book,
today's market, the Mylars are more valuable than the comic.
So there is that, but so they took away that, and
probably for the same reason everybody else. They cost too much. Can't get them.
Probably is true.
I'm down to like 3 silver Mylars left. I don't. My shop just can't. It doesn't have them either. Can't get them online. It's like, oh my god. I have to start using poly bags.
What am I going to do? Well, see, like you just, hey, I'll just send it off to CGC or CBCS, and I'm getting it back in 2 years, and I'm okay.
Well, the crazy part is that's the ones I've been using the Mylars on. And maybe that's my problem. I'm an idiot. I'm setting to my presser all in Mylar and everything to protect them. When I should probably just be putting them in poly, because the stuff that my raws, I don't put them in Mylar. My raws, I put them in BOP bags, because they have the durability and they're cheaper. I just don't know why I haven't been using the BOP bags for my Oh yeah, I do, because I've been spending a lot of stuff that doesn't quite fit in the bop bags. The bop bags I buy are an eighth of an inch narrower than a standard silver. So they'll take a silver board just, um, and it's a really tight fit. But if you actually have a true Silver Age comic that you're trying to put in there, it's just, if the book is in great condition, it's not a problem. But if it's a rough, low grade book, and this, where you're worried about, damaging the cover, flake, or the spine's weak or anything like that, then it's like, not a good idea. That extra eighth of an inch makes a difference.
That's what she said.
Exactly. Over and over again.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Now, according to this picture, there should be no gap there. Did I? No. I think there's just going to be a gap there. So,
Making
that
round
is-
things out of.
So you could start to see kind of the take shape.
Oh wow.
This is the side where the little visor or the
Right.
little eye thing is. There's the back of his helmet, the inside of it.
Interesting.
Not sure. I guess maybe that is like where the dent is. You know, the dent in his helmet.
Right.
I'm guessing that's what that is. Yeah. Because this is the front face. It's got a little plate where you can have where it says Star Wars Boba Fett. So that is it for bag 3. And I'm staying pretty
1 hour in, 3 hours in, 3 bags.
an
Yeah.
hour. An hour a bag, yeah. Thanks a lot, Brian. It's all your fault, Brian. But where is that? Oh, here. Okay. So 5 goes over there. Keep these little extra pieces. There's a few extra pieces per one, which kind of worries me, like a mechanic that says, I had some stuff left over. I don't know where it came.
Right. Really, what's up with the extra parts, right? I'm sure these are rent for something, but yeah.
Oh, well, that's not that important.
Oh, good golly.
Yeah, so I also the the other night I bought a first appearance of Deadshot, Silver Age appearance of Deadshot in Detective Comics. I forget the number.
Oh yeah. I gave one of
And-
those away in my last mystery box.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I got that one. I got the first appearance of Doc Samson and Incredible Hulk, and that one was raw. And then I also bought first appearance of Spidey, Spider-Man Noir. And-
Yeah.
Because one of the co-creators is
doing
going
a
to be at.
He's gonna do a signing,
Well, he's going to be at
a con.
a con in New Orleans. So.
Yeah, I was thinking, because I saw that, because I think Catch Out from Captured Collectibles was talking about it, because I was thinking about pulling mine down here and having it cracking it out and sending it in to get signed. Because it's just because that's one of my PGX slabs for it, but
Mhm.
I was one of these books that was up on the wall at the comic book shop for $50. I was like, oh, I will take that. And anytime I can take an opportunity, it's like I don't have a problem necessarily with the PGX slabs for books on my PC,
Mhm.
but with some of them, when there's an opportunity to do a signing, I have no qualms about cracking out a PGX slab to go ahead and get it signed, and use that as the opportunity to change the grading company on it.
Well, I did the same thing with the Roy Thomas signing for at my first appearance of Iron Fist,
Hmm.
which I think I told you this before, that PGX had graded it at 7, and CGC graded it as an 8.
Wow.
So
So yeah, PGX is way more lenient.
maybe. So PGX, I don't know if they still do this or not, but when I was using them, they would evaluate your books and
Mhm.
say, okay, this book would bump up if you did a press,
Right. Pre-screen for pressing.
which
You
I
could
thought was really great.
absolutely. Every book you send in, you should, if you're using them, you should pre-grade for pressing because it was a no cost.
Right.
And so it's like they'll look at the book, and if it and yeah, you go, okay, well, obviously they're going to say it needs it, but I have actually had submissions of modern books that I had sent into them where like one book out of a lot of 20 was the only one that they deemed needed a press, and
Well,
it
and that
came
was
and
my
they all
experience too.
yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, this is great, and it was because whenever I send something to CGC or CBCS. I always want to have it pressed first, whether it's with a different press or somebody else, just because I hate to send something in and have it done and have it come back and say, "Oh, if only it had been pressed, it would have hit that 9.8." Given the
Mhm.
way the how different in pricing value a 9.8 to a 9.6 is, you hate to leave that on the table.
Sure. And when I first got into back into collecting and sending my first round of books, which I still have some of them up there, just horrible grades.
Hmm.
And a lot of it could have been simple press would have helped. And I called CGC and said, "Hey, look, I'm new to this, and I didn't think nothing about it. I'm willing to pay you uh, to press my books.
Hmm.
I'm willing to pay you to press my books. Just tell me it costs me $70. Okay, great. I'll pay it and just send my stuff over there next door to your presser." No, we can't change the order once it's here.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
their system is very inflexible. And I find it extremely frustrating when it comes to signatures, signing events. It's like when a book is there, or I've sent a book in, and the signing event hasn't happened for the first one yet, but you announce another signing for another person that could be on that book. I'm now stuck. I can't sit there and say, "Hey, have the first guy sign it, and then have the second guy sign it before you do the press and grade." Nope, it's not on the order. We can't do it. It's like I've only once have I seen them change their mind on that, and that was
Yeah.
on recently. Um, was Chris Claremont and Joe Rubenstein, where they had announced them within a week of one another. Like so the few people that had quickly jumped on and shipped their books,
Uh-huh.
you missed out. Because then because once they had them both within a period of time, they started making a double signing available. And so it was like, hey, but I already sent my book in. And then they finally came back and told us, sent out a thing saying, okay, if you had done this in this period of time, we will go ahead and allow you to do a change order. And there was a process we had to go through. And I was like, absolutely, because I'd sent one of my Wolverine ones, and of course I want to have them both sign it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, since he's going to be there.
Right. And now I just turned around and now that ironically that book is now back at them because it's there for the Frank Miller signing.
Well, yeah, so they wouldn't do that, and so I got some pretty crappy grades. Well, when PGX had evaluated mine,
Mm-hmm.
they had said, "All right, this one needs it, this one don't," blah
Mm-hmm.
blah blah, and had changed my order, which was great. Well, when I got the books back though, then they had essentially told me that in the email that, okay, this one looks like it could be as high as this if we pressed it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then when I get them back, they don't even look pressed.
Yeah. I even had so my experience with them was definitely some inconsistencies. Um, including I had a book come back, a 10.0, that
Whoa.
had a bent corner that I called them up and I'm like, I sent pictures and how is this? And especially since I didn't send the book this way. It was a book that they obviously had done something when trying to get it into the holder. And so they took it back and they reworked it and it eventually came back a 9.8. But I had several books that came back like 9.8s or whatever that I questioned them on, and I actually sent pictures, and a few books that I actually resent back to them saying this can't be a 9.8. I mean, look at it. It's got this. And I remember one of them, I really thought adamantly that there's no way this is a 9.8 book. And they came back after I sent it to them and they said, nope, it's a 9.8. And I'm okay, because it was a foil cover and it's got multiple little dings along the spine. And, it's like probably 4. And well, 4 dings is not a 9.8, in my opinion, on a foil cover. But, for whatever reason, that's what their call is on it. But it's in my PC. I'm not getting rid of it. So what difference does it make, really, I suppose?
Wow.
Especially since it's a 4-time signed book. But
yeah, the book that had the hair in it, and I called him up, and he's like, "Yeah, you can reach in the side, and you could probably reach in there." I said, "Well, wait a minute. You're telling me that your slabs are that you can do that?"
Yeah. As long as you don't break that little sticker across the very top, you can do all kinds of things with those slabs. But yeah, I had a lot of issues where books were cockeyed in there, and they said, "Oh, just whack it." And the book will straighten out. And I was like, oh God, you gotta be freaking kidding me. The worst was I had several slabs in a shipment that came back where they were bowed, where it almost looked like the bottom piece of plastic was a different dimension from the top, and in order to snap them, it was warping their shape, whatever. But if you laid them on a table, you could slide a penny, easily underneath the middle of the slab. It was so bowed, and and the first response I got from it was, "Can you set them down on a flat surface and put a heavy weight on them for a week and see if that takes care of the issue?" And I was like, "Oh, I work in manufacturing, and I'll tell you that that's not how plastic works." Especially this kind of plastic, at least not a cold press isn't going to do jack, but sure, I'll do it for you just to cooperate. And yeah, no, it didn't, obviously, and he had to take them back or rework them. Honestly, I think, I did over 250 books with PGX, and I think it's safe to say in some shape or form, close to 20% of the books I got back had to be reworked for various reasons, which is not a good rate. And of course, I've never cared for their slab, not so much for the, how it feels. Yeah, it feels flimsy, but you know what? It's also the cheapest slab of all the four grading companies, right? So you get what you pay for to some degree. He's got to make a profit on it, yada yada yada. But I've always disliked on the side of the slab, obviously where they're mold. Let me see if let me pull this down again. You can, from the manufacturing, you can, let's see if I can get this in here. You can see, get this to focus. Right underneath my thumb, you can see this rough part. Every single one of the slabs has that.
Yep.
And it's obviously from their tooling process, where they're molding this and then snapping stuff off. And I've told Daniel, I said, you need to invest your money in some new tooling that doesn't do this, because this is really, and some of them have been really, really bad and really rough. In fact, at one point, I sent Daniel towards the end, before I finally quit using PGX altogether. I I sent Daniel and I had many conversations, and I gave him a laundry list of things of saying, look, here's if I not necessarily not complaining, but actually saying, look, if I was in your position, my 15 years in the customer experience industry, here are my observations, and here's what I think. You address them everything from email communications to the horrific if you try to request graders notes, right? Because their graders notes portal doesn't actually work, but that's how they want you to submit requests for graders notes, right? So I mean, all these things, it just I don't know that they've done anything with them, but ever since PGX East opened up, I just kind of I stopped using PGX altogether, because when Rob joined PGX East, or they got the PGX East franchise, at first I was really excited because Rob has a certain he's coming in as a former respected grader at CGC and was bringing people in with him that were CGC people. And I kept thinking, great, this is what PGX needs. They need some people that, because they always get knocked for their grading or whatever, they need some respected people to come in that the industry can say, oh, hey, look, this can help to strengthen them. But then Rob opened up his 9.8 Wednesday shop, where he is, you can go to that shop and pick up the books that come out that week and in a 9.8 right then and there, same day they get released.
Oh, wow.
That graded as PGX grade. So he is grading and selling his own graded books. Well, that was one of the, if you know all the history of PGX and the rumors of issues of yore, the two big scandals, one was the TMNT book, the other was supposedly people were grading and selling their own books out the back, and they weren't being objective. And once you take that, I don't care how well respected you are, once you take down that barrier and there's the possibility, even if you are grading exactly as you always would, it just opens up that possibility of a conflict of interest. You're no longer an independent third party, and to me that just completely destroyed the credibility of the company as a whole.
I will agree.
Now, Rob has gone on to disagree with me back and forth via email a couple times, and I've actually need to get around to circling back to them. We talked enough that he was willing to come on my Sidekicks Talk Comics show and be a guest and do an interview and talk about it. We were just having problems because the day we do our show is the day he does other stuff, plus his DC books come in and everything else in the world. So we still got to try to nail that down. But
so why would, and I mean, you're much more well versed with the lore of this, but why would somebody start a PGX East or versus just coming up with their own? It wasn't like PGX had this vaunted household name that everybody knew and trusted. Why wouldn't you just start your own?
Yeah, I kind of wonder that too. And that's kind of one of those questions I'd love to ask him if I get around to having him on an interview. Especially why would you leave CGC to do that? Now, obviously, he must have seen an opportunity to make more money. Maybe he thought bringing his name over was going to give it a certain cachet or help to rebuild it. But I mean, I will give you this, watching what we're seeing with EGS, right? There's your example of somebody who's trying to start from the ground up and build momentum stuff. It's kind of hard to build from nothing and build in, where if you can sit there and maybe you can tell yourself, hey, this is an established thing that has an established market base. and I can bring myself to it and help to build it back up again. Okay, I could buy that, but all he's doing in his whatever the deal is between him and Daniel Patterson, or is that Patterson? Daniel, whoever the owner of PGX, their deal apparently limits Rob to only grading modern books.
Huh.
For the most part. So it's like the stuff that you said in PGX East is modern books only. They don't do Silver Age or Golden Age books there. So it's also like so it's a segmented thing. They have two different websites. It's two different email addresses. It's really like it's two different companies, but they share the same moniker, labels, and everything else. There are a few things though that PGX East does that the West doesn't do. And that's like grading original art or evaluating original art, larger size original art. So they'll do the 11 by 17. Matter of fact, the only thing I've done, my headset, with PGX East is I had sent in a page of original art, and what they'll do is they'll validate, this was signed. So they did their authentication that the page is signed by Norm Rotman. And then they just take the inner well material that they'll put on a comic and they seal it in that inner well. There's no outer shell, obviously, but the page now is preserved. I can touch it. It's not going to get fingerprints all over it. And they've certified it as original art. And put a label on it as to what book it's from, etc.
Huh.
So I mean that's kind of nice, and this is $35 to have this done, and I would still do this with them because nobody else is doing this for a full page original art. And I do like this because now I can still go put this in a frame or something else if I want. But it's protected and well. And I think that helps it from a resale standpoint. I don't think because anybody who doesn't want this in this thing, fine, they can cut it out. No big deal. Right. So.
How does that go from there to there?
There's times when you're sitting there, you go back and forth looking at the instructions and you're still looking at this, going, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't really make.
Is that really the right piece? I don't know.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing here. This is. Yeah, because all they do is they put the pictures and they say like each picture, like I'm on step 146, and it goes, okay, you got to have those items in there. So those items, let's do this.
Wow.
Yeah, those items. See that? So that's okay. You got to have those ones for 145, and then it says, okay, this is it. Then you have to look at I'm looking at the pictures to see what's different, to see where those particular colors and such go.
I did make I pulled the trigger the other day on an ASM 50.
Ooh,
that'll have to come. I really didn't want to do it just yet, but after the other day watching them reintroduce him, I was like, this is not going to get any cheaper. It's not going to. It's only going to. Throttle's going to go down on this as he starts showing up more and more in stuff. Mm-hmm. And I just have a feeling he's too good of a character and an actor for them not to use him elsewhere with some of the Earth-based stuff in the MCU.
Right.
That it's like, I better pull the trigger now. Just do it.
Yeah. So was it a graded one?
No. It was a raw one. And it was really weird. It was one where it was like, it was an auction. Yeah, it's probably like a 4 or 5. Well, could be anywhere from a 3.5 to a 4 or 5, depending upon once I see it in my hands.
Mhm.
It's got a sub crease and some stuff, but I mean, it presents well enough. It's intact. The guy swore up and down to me when I asked him questions about it that it was complete and no cutouts or anything else, and the staples are solid, no rust. Um,
Color
so
touch.
yeah, it's none of that. He claims doesn't. So it was one of these ones where it was an auction, but he had a buy it now price, and nobody had bid on the auction on it yet. And I was looking, and I sent him the questions, and his buy it now price was, it was a little bit high. It was like 550. Um, but I'm looking at what the sales are going for on this stuff, and I'm like, oh, these books are all good. I mean, a 4.5 purple label just sold for 650 or whatever, right? And so you're going, okay, we know where this is, and that's we know where this is at. These books in 4s and stuff are selling for $700 graded. I was just like, oh, fuck it. I'm just, his starting auction price on it was $350. So you're like, I could try to get it for less, but you're risking somebody just coming in and taking the $550 and taking it out from under you. And I know
Mhm.
what, with the market going to move the way it is on this book, I was just like, oh, forget it. I'm just going to splash the pot, take it and run, um, and just deal with it.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
So, I mean, sometimes that's just what you got to do, right? You just got to, fuck it, damn the torpedoes.
That's right.
So we'll see. I'm hoping that when that comes, I'm hoping it's as good as it looked. And hopefully, if it comes back into 4s, I'm really happy. Even a 3.5, I'd be happy, because with what they're, like I said, what they're going for, I still wouldn't have I'll still have value, um, even if it doesn't go up, which I'd find hard to believe. But
Yeah, I think they've signed him on for a good little while. And to your point, I think they're going to be using him in multiple Earthbound stuff, which is probably going to be Disney Plus. But nevertheless,
hey,
um,
I'd love to see him. I wouldn't mind seeing him pop up in a Spider-Man movie.
yeah, all
Hell,
in all,
my dream is that he pops up in a movie that Spider-Man and Daredevil have to team up in. I mean, that's just my dream. Now that Peter's not known to anybody and he doesn't have to be gallivanting off into space or anything else, he can focus on being your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man again.
yep. Yeah, you got Daredevil now too. So
That's right. That'd be fun.
yeah, and he's one of those Kingpin's one of those characters that at least I do. I really think of him more as a Daredevil character than a
Right.
Superman. But I mean, he's really both.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the there's a lot of crossover, obviously, with them all being in New York, right? But he started in Spider-Man, and that's what's so hilarious. Like when you're looking at putting together a run, like I've been working on this first 100 ASM books, and then it kills me when I sit there and look at the first 100 Daredevil books, and you
Uh-huh.
go and you're looking at it, you're talking about books that are about this almost the same era. They ran in parallel practically, and you're looking at them and you're just going like, aside from the first 5 Daredevil books, they just, when you can buy a sub 10. The other day I saw a sub 10 Daredevil book sell for less than $100, and I'm like, why can't this happen on Spider-Man? It'd be so
Just for a
much
little
more.
bit.
I could, it'd be so much more affordable.
Well, yeah, and I think that Daredevil 1 was one of the lowest or most underpriced Silver Age key for Marvel. Was I mean, you had a
Yeah, for a long time.
there, and it wasn't until they started having rumors that Charlie Cox was going to indeed be Daredevil that one started spiking again.
Yeah, and so now it's what I think probably the lowest one's probably what, Captain Marvel, number 1.
Hmm. Well,
Because
so
all
you
these,
think are they going to bring Marvel back? I mean, I
I
see all this stuff, but
I don't know. I don't. I have a feeling that they're given everything that goes on. I could just be a dick for a moment. I don't think that they're going to hire go to a superhero that's a white male superhero at this point. To bring it in. When they can focus on everything else, all the other diversity options, and that's
right.
fine. I
I'd
don't think
rather
that
them
you.
stay dead. It takes away from the character to bring him back at this point, especially.
Yeah, I don't think you don't need him. Um, so some of these characters, and Marvel is one of those characters. He's been dead and he stayed dead, right?
One of the
So
few. Yeah.
so there's no need to bring him back for anything when you can do all your storytelling without him. Um, I am curious to see. We were talking about this the other night on one of the channel. I think on Chris's channel last night. We were talking about the fact that just all these different threads that the MC is pulling right now and setting up, and it's just so interesting to see where they're going to go and to really understand. I would love to see what their true roadmap is, because they've set things up that they probably won't circle back to for a while.
Right.
And you've got to imagine this roadmap, given how it extends beyond what the slate of shows and movies that they've announced. Because you start talking about things like, okay, well, where are they going to squeeze X-Men in? Well, who's to say it's going to happen anytime in the next 4 or 5 years? We're going to probably continue to plant seeds, drop names, little, or might encounter people by their common name, here and there, but you're not going to actually have them show up. As far as we know, who knows? We've got this whole, we know the multiverse is coming. We've got these time variants going on. We've got the Eternals going on. We've got we've got Adam Warlock. We've got all this stuff with Thor, and then you're going to come in and go, okay. And meanwhile, we also have uh, this other Dark Avengers group or whatever that's potentially getting put together here with U.S. Agent and Black Widow and all these different elements, and you start going, where are we going to go? I mean, and how are we going to get there? It's really going to be interesting.
Yeah. Well, some of their stuff has to take turns, like say Chadwick Boseman's death, things like that. You
Mhm.
have to be able to turn a little bit of your story, but I think that with Doctor Strange and the multiverse, you're going to see back some because Baron Mordo is going to be in there. So I think that there's going to be some elements to the No More Magic deal that was alluded to at the end of Strange 1, which was a storyline in the comics. But yeah, I don't know how to keep it all straight, really.
Well, the best. I mean, they would have to, and I think what I like to see is I think that they are splitting into just different storylines, right? I think you're going to have stuff that builds to some sort of intergalactic scale and stuff that's going on, and I think you're going to have your Earth-based stuff, and hopefully, now a lot of that Earth-based stuff I think is going to take place on the TV shows, right?
Mhm.
The grounded stuff, and then maybe they'll come and then they'll be brought up into um, the movie for like Avengers or something. But we still have what secret? You got Secret Wars, you got or a Secret Invasion, and you got um, who knows? I mean, what they're gonna do? We've got the only thing we know is what now. I guess has the question been 100% decided whether or not um, Agents of Shield is no longer canon? I mean,
Yeah, I think that one's still up in the air, I think. But
some people are saying that they basically the whole thing with the watch at the end of um, Hawkeye is basically just says that puts the nail in the coffin on Agents of Shield being canon, and other people saying hey, they never officially said that was her watch, so
Yeah, and you know, they're okay with the rumors continuing to float around because it's people talking. It's free press, man.
That's right. Speculation.
And then they can also then use that to say, see what people like.
Hmm.
Because then if they get a lot of, oh no, I hate that. I hope they don't ever do something that stupid. They go, okay, well, we're not going to do that.
Well, you'd like to say that, but it is still Disney at the end of the day, and look what they do with Star Wars.
Ooh, that just I don't understand that. I mean, they do such a good job with fan service and new fans with MCU that how can the same company not do the same thing for Star Wars?
I
I
don't
seen
know.
this I seen this meme where this guy had the Far From Home shirt on, and then he reached over and smacked the back of this other kid who had the Last Skywalker on, and
Mhm.
said, "That's how you end a trilogy." So,
I mean, yeah, it boggles the mind because everybody, obviously the YouTube community all blames Kathleen Kennedy for everything, but then Disney seems, and you think, and they made it for so long seem like she was on her way out because everybody was so unhappy with this and the performance, the outrage from the fans, but then she gets re-upped and everything else, and it shows you that obviously the internet community knows nothing,
right.
and who knows? Agents was never canon, according to Kevin Feige. Okay,
No.
well, I know that's good to know. I know at one point there was, they wanted it to be, and hence what they were borrowing, hence the whole idea of having Coulson come over and then bringing in Lady Sif and some of that other stuff. But then I know that once pretty much, um, they had to deal with the ramifications, obviously from Winter Soldier, but then pretty much after that, it was off the rails, and kind of went, I think, in its own kind of direction, especially once you started getting into the Avengers movies, and they started going into the Agents of Shield went into space and into the future and all this other stuff. It definitely then became its own entity, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with it either way.
Yeah, I mean, well, with the when the opening of the multiverse, it just allows you to be able to pawn that off as non-canon or another world. So,
All right, well, or, TVA stuff. Who knows? Any number. So many different options, right?
yep.
And that's what I did like. This most recent Spider-Man film I've been saying is that, even though the MCU had done its job of making itself some distinctions from comic book world, I think that the Spider-Man movie did the best job of driving that home to people to say, "Hey there, nerds, put your rage on hold. This isn't the 616, okay? We're going to do things a little bit different. It's going to be familiar, but it's going to be different at the time. You don't know all the answers. We might mix and match storylines, and it's okay because this isn't the comic book universe. Just
Right.
deal." I'm like completely okay with that,
Let's see. This is going to be.
Well, from the top, it's starting to look like a head.
Yeah, that's it is winding this fourth pack down. Oh, look at that! I've done made up some time. I guess the fourth pack wasn't that big.
That's right.
All right, so and then we're going to put those two under there. I'm going to take this. Let's see.
The infamous counting.
Yep. So this is the side where the little thing, because the little thing
Oh
will
yeah,
actually move down.
the scope or sight or
Yeah.
range finder.
And so this is the face there. So the rest of the helmet is actually taking shape.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
that is the end. Still an hour pack. No, it is not.
This was only a 40-minute pack.
Thank you.
Yeah. But this is a great opportunity. I'm going to take this point. I'm going to bounce. Thanks for having me on for a few moments here.
Appreciate
I got to go edit the other video and feed the dog and all the other fun stuff.
There you go.
All right.
Well, have a good week.
Take it easy, sir.
All right.
All right. Bye.
All right. Fresh sip, awkward sip of coffee, as Pocan Joe likes to say. And we're off to the races with this. And actually, if you look at this, it actually is not as big. That's what she said. As what some of the other packs have been. Hope that's not famous last words. That'll be what Custer said. All right. So there is that. We're going to put one. Mm-hmm. Look at this. Appreciate the folks that probably just open up a browser or maybe put this on as a bedtime way to get to sleep early. Either way, appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit that like button. It makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside. All right, let's see. We got that. Goodness. That. And then we're going to, so we're one up to that. Well, where is that? Right here. Mm-hmm. Strange this, huh? Okay. That's the problem. That needs to overlap there. This does this. Like that. I'm going to put that and this one here. Just like that. And then we got another. We've got four. And we got this. We're going to put like that. And this right here is that hinge. Just like that. Ooh, ooh. Look at that. The hinge. All right. So that was the first one. And then when I do that, we're going to Is this one supposed to go back that far? No, it's not. It just kind of makes it cover up. Okay. And then we're going to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take the that. What or what? Okay. And all right, so this is going to go here, like that. So we got now it's. I think we're doing the other side, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So it's going to be basically the opposite, same pieces and everything, just looking opposite, if that makes sense. And then we got these. We got this. And we got yeah, I don't know. I'm supposed to be entertaining, I guess. All right, so we are doing this right here, and then we are going to put this right here. And then we're going to build the same thing we had last time. This. All right, and put that at the bottom. I'll flip that over, and we're going to have the other hinge. Like so. And then you're going to put this right there. And then the little vanity piece, I think. Yep. The vanity piece is right here. All right. Now it's looking more like Boba Fett. Now we're cooking with Crisco. All right. We are in the home stretch, folks. Look at this. The last pack. And there's a couple of times I was worried that there was a piece missing or something. I've certainly had extra pieces. Presumably, the machine that pours them in is not exact, or they had a couple extras in there just in case of more than likely to lose pieces. I don't know. And then we got that. Then we're going to put these here on there. Yep. Maybe I There it is. Okay. And this is going to be right here. And we've got the two hinge looking pieces go out like this. And then we got this. Let's see. So then we're going to do that, that, and that. Do this. Also, been careful to put enough pressure on to get them in there tight, because the last thing I want to do is, after all that, drop it. I've seen these people like do these big giant Star Destroyers, and then they just like drop it for YouTube content. And I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. Okay. So the hinges are down there at the bottom. Yeah. And I want to push on these, and then it end up being breaking at the last minute. Well, I'd be ticked. That'd be some good YouTube content right there, though. Me smashing it. It's like, just fast forward to the last part of the video. That's where it gets good. That's what you would do. Okay, so this is got this little thing, whatever it's for. Something, and this little thing. And then you're going to flip it over. You're going to put one of these and one of these. Flip it back over. And then you're going to connect them like so. There's a special place in hell for poop. Oh man, I don't know if I could do it. I guess if I was told like, okay, you'd make $1 million in advertising revenue if you did it, I guess I'd do that. But I mean, maybe that's what Meatloaf was talking about. He said he'd do anything but for love, but he wouldn't do that. Maybe that was what that was, The world may never know. Okay. And up. Wait a minute. So now put it on right side up. And there we go. We're going to take this, we're going to put this down here. And that is it, folks. So that is it. You can move it up here, up there. That's true, Brian. Yeah, I said that about meatloaf, and they're like, meatloaf? That's what mom makes for supper when we're bad or we're broke. It doesn't. It really didn't have the same meaning. But you knew what I was talking about. You knew what I was talking about. So let me switch this back over to. And we're back. I'm still alive. And I still have some energy, a little bit of coffee left. And this right here, folks, is the finished product. Finished product. And you can do it like so. So it's very important that when it says to put whatever color on that side of the piece that you're putting together, to do just that, because you run risk of that one piece being a different color out here. There was one piece on here that I was worried about that, but it ended up being covered up. So either I done it right and I was just worried about doing it wrong, or it ended up getting covered up, so it was not an issue. But that is it right. Whoa, no, not really. That is it right there. This giant book that it comes with was obviously helpful, but in the end, it could have been more. But I mean, what do you do? Well, yes, almost 4 hours, Brian. Almost, but almost only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and nuclear warheads. It did not take 1 hour per bag because there were 5 bags. So just saying. All right. So appreciate anybody that endured all of that for the Lego build. If you have not done so already, smash that like button. Did want to make sure that everybody who is catching this live or on the rewind is entered in if they want to be to the Uncanny X-Men 266 giveaway. The link for joining the channel is in the description below, or you can do live super chats and videos like this if you're watching this live, or in other live videos. Since this week is the last week of the year, I don't know if I'll be doing a live or not. That's risky take, but you can check out the deal. Oh, thanks, Covered Collector. Thank you. But in either case, I appreciate each and everybody. Did want to give another shout out to the channel members, people that are supporting the channel through their monthly membership. And if you are interested in joining and the benefits thereof, the Linktree link is in the description below. Also, feel free to visit bcwsupplies.com for any of your supply needs when it comes to conserving those comic cards, records, etc. You can use the coupon code SCG at checkout. Save yourself 10% on your order. There's also a link in the description below that'll take you there. And folks, we're going to get out of here. So until next time, keep reading, keep collecting. Adios.